We're starting things off tonight with 2 heats of micro sprints. We are doing things a little differently, changing up the order slightly just to make sure that we can have a track that is all set and ready to go, cut down on some of the track prep time we have throughout the night. So we're moving things around slightly. So we will be starting off with those K&K racing micro sprints. Then we'll be moving into one heat of our rookie cage class, followed by 3 heats of the Arbox class, 3 heats of the junior wing class. Then we'll move into a single heat for the Legends Direct Legends cars, 1 heat for the intermediate wing class, 1 heat for the Sportsman class, 2 heats for the 125-250 wing class, and then we will move into our final heat race of the night, the Gopher Midget Racing Series here. We have 2 different B mains tonight going on. We have a B main in the Arbox class and a B main in the junior wing class. So we have some great racing action coming at you guys tonight for round number 3, which has been rescheduled from last week due to Mother Nature not wanting to play with us too well. We have brought things back around tonight for round number 3 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here. Tonight's action is brought to you by Quality Auto Body. We're happy to have them on as tonight's title sponsor. So make sure if you are out in the local area to give them some support. Thank them for helping us out, not only tonight, but all season as well. Make sure to give them your thanks for that. That being said, as another quick reminder before we get into the racing action, we are live streaming tonight's events for free on MBTVsports.com and the affiliated MBTV Sports YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X pages. Feel free for any friends or family who weren't able to make it out here tonight. Make sure you send them that link so that they are able to be a part of all of tonight's racing action here at Thunder Hill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. With that being said, I will be one of tonight's announcers. My name is Zach Bailey. I am joined here today remotely by Colin Lloyd. Colin, feel free to say hey to everyone quick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to MBTV Sports. If you are watching live on one of our channels, or if you are live at the Thunder Hill Speedway, thank you so much, everyone, for coming out to the races tonight or logging on and watching at home. Great racing action about to happen around the Thunder Hill Speedway with 9 great classes as usual. Zach, it looks like it's a beautiful evening over there in Menominee, Wisconsin at Thunder Hill Speedway.
Yes, the weather is looking absolutely great over there, nice and sunshining. Definitely better than the weather that we had last week, that is for sure. We've gotten most of that rain out of our system, I sure hope. So, the weather today is phenomenal and should bring us some amazing racing action. Well, we have just another moment here before we get into our first green flag of the night, heat number 1 of our micro sprints class. We want to take just another moment to thank a few more of our sponsors for coming along for this season's journey. Obviously, tonight's title sponsor, Quality Auto Body. Many clients tell them that their repair went better than they ever expected because they were kept informed, answered their questions, and delivered their vehicle in a way that exceeded their expectations. We're happy to have them on along for tonight's ride. But now that we have our first official heat race out on the track for the evening, our K&K Racing Micro Sprints heat number 1, Colin, take it away with tonight's first lineup of the day.
Heat race number 1 for the K&K Micro Sprint cars is going to be Alyssa Edie on the inside of row number 1 in the 100. Into the outside, that's the 3J from Hudson, Wisconsin. It's Brandon Frederick. Inside of row number 2 is Jackson Grady in the 46G from Ellsworth, Wisconsin. And to the outside, it's Mason Hale from Tremplow, Wisconsin in 28. Inside of row number 3, Welch, Minnesota's 99. That's Mason Subert. And to the outside, he was just on the screen. He's from New Richmond, Wisconsin. That's the 37 of Landon Davis. Inside of row number 4, it's Brody Urbanski from Lakeland, Minnesota, driving the 22. And Jaden Wagner from Welcome, North Carolina, in the 8W. Those are
Now
your
we're
8
starting.
cars for heat race number 1, going 8 laps in distance.
Now we're starting things off strong tonight with our micro sprint class. As I was saying earlier, for those who may have missed it in the grandstands, or if you're just now logging on to the live stream at mbtvsports.com, in an effort to cut down on track prep time throughout the night, we made a few adjustments to the running order. So we are starting off with, Colin, I don't want to speak for yourself, but I feel like what tends to be one of our favorite classes out on the track tonight, the K&K Racing Micro Sprints. We got some great action coming at you, and one car that we're for sure going to want to keep an eye on tonight is that 37 of Landon Davis, the current points leader in the class. He's starting today, 6th on the lineup in the outside of the 3rd row, so definitely going to be a cart to keep an eye on.
Heat racing action goes green out of turn number 4 for heat race number 1 for the micro sprints. Early on into turn number 1, that's the 46G of Grady. Grady leads lap number 1, and the rest of the field crosses over everybody right in a pack.
We've got a nice 5-cart battle for second on back raging currently, as we've got 3 wide racing coming out of turn number 4. Davis on the outside looking to make some moves up to the top. It's still Geraci out front in the 46G. Schubert leading a 3-cart battle for second, third, and fourth. Now it's Wagner that's with the slight advantage coming out of the front straightaway. Wagner now up to that 2 spot.
Wagner from the 8th spot to second here with 4 laps to go. He'll chase down the back straightaway. Grady continuing to lead in 46G. Wagner right on his tails at the line with 3 to go.
Just over halfway through our first heat race of the evening, and we see some action out front, a battle for the lead developing between Wagner and Geraci. Geraci still has it. Wagner with the slight advantage that time by side on the backstretch. Wagner now your sole possession of the lead with 2 laps to go, coming up to the white flag.
Wagner's lead a half a second. He'll go down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. He'll win heat race number 1. Grady will finish second. At the line, it will be Davis, Hale, Subert, Urbanski, Frederick, and Edie rounding out the field. Great racing in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 up next.
Now that was a crazy run from Jaden Wagner from the very back row, last starting grid spot up to take the win. We love to see it. For heat race number 2, we'll have just as much great racing action coming at you. On the inside of row number 1, we have the 249X of Brennan Newville out of Clear Lake, Wisconsin, alongside Trempealeau, Wisconsin's Maddie Hale in the 28X. Inside row number 2, out of Stacy, Minnesota, the 323 of Tyler Polofsky, side by side with Jeff Friedrich, racing the 27C out of Potosi, Wisconsin. Inside row number 3, the 10C of Cole McQuiston racing from Alma, Wisconsin, side by side with Kewaskum, Wisconsin's Cade Yeager racing the UFO. And in that 4th and final row, we have the 26B of Jackson Peters from Waupun, Wisconsin. And to his right, starting 8th on the grid, we have the 128 of Marshall Willing out of Becker, Minnesota. 8 carts, 8 laps for our second heat race of the evening. We'll get everyone settled on the back straightaway, tightening it up, ready to go. I believe it will be green flag this time by. Green lights are out, and it's Newville leading them into turn number 1, ahead of a 3-cart side-by-side battle just behind him for second, third, and fourth.
Newville will lead lap number 1. Friedrich in the 2nd spot. Polofsky in 3rd. Yeager in 4th. We've got a 3-cart battle here for that 2nd spot. Here comes the UFO of Yeager. Yeager looks to the outside. He'll have it down the back straightaway.
Yeager, your new race leader, coming up not even halfway through this heat race. Newville going to go back to second. Polofsky still leading that battle between him and the 27C of Friedrich. Friedrich able to come down on the inside, though, move up to third. Polofsky not going to go without a fight, though. Polofsky back up to that 3rd place spot. Don't count out the 26P of Peters, though, hot on their trail. Trying to make this a 3-cart battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeager starting to check out front. The lead last time, 2.3 seconds. This time, the lead up 2, 3 seconds flat. We've got a 3-car battle for that third, fourth, and fifth spot. Here comes the 27C of Frederick on the ends, throws a slider on Peters.
Coming up to
Pulaski's
the white
got
flag.
that third position right now.
One more lap to go for the UFO of Jaeger. He takes it onto the back stretch, coming into turn 3. Outside, Jaeger's going to be your heat race winner. Newville going to finish second as we've got the 26P of Peters spinning out in turn number 1. That's going to draw his race to a close. It'll be Jaeger, Newville, 1 and 2. Starting things off strong with our K&K Racing Micro Sprints class today. We have some nice racing action throughout both of those heat races. And now for something completely different as we move into our Rookie Cage class. So now the Micro Sprints, where we started things off, is definitely going to be one of the strongest, highest levels of racing that we have here at Thunderhill Speedway. Now the Rookie Cage class is going to be our youngsters. It may be their first season racing a car. They may still be, only the ages of 5 or 6, pretty young. Or, for some of these, it may even be their first time ever being behind the wheel of a racing vehicle. So we're going to do things a little differently. You will notice we don't do a traditional lineup with these racers. We just kind of let them out on the track, throw the green flag. The 6 racers out there tonight with us are the 13 of Julian Logslet out of Colfax, Wisconsin, Theo LeBlond racing the 22 from Downsville, Wisconsin, Black River Falls, Wisconsin, Aria Johnson racing the Zero Machine, the 5S of Sam Pettit out of Winona, Minnesota, Brooklyn Demo racing the 11 from Owatonna, Minnesota, and Fall Creek, Wisconsin's Jack Smith racing the 16. So we're going to give them the green flag and just kind of let them get a feel for, what racing is like, what the racing surface is like, what their kart is going to be like. As these are the future of the sport, we want to make sure that they are comfortable behind the wheel of their karts before we send them into full-on racing action in some of the next levels up. You can see the Zero Machine of Aria Johnson there, making her passes by quite a few competitors. Now, the last time we were here at Thunderhill Speedway for race number 2 of the Storm Series for 2025, it was Aria Johnson's debut behind the wheel of this kart. So this is only race number 2 for her. And take a look at how she is flying around the track. We also have a nice look at the 11 machine of Brooklyn Demo, putting some solid laps in here as well, along with the 22 of Theo LeBlond, another regular that we have in the Rookie Cage class, giving these youngsters a chance to get a feel for the racing surface and see what it's like to race on the 6 Mile Thunderhill Speedway here in Menominee, Wisconsin. Around the outside of 2 different competitors, the 13 of Julian Logslet, showing these racers how it's done here tonight, making this track known that they are a solid competitor in the Rookie Cage class. We give them 8 laps here to get a feel for what it's like in a heat race. When they come back later on tonight, we will be giving them 12 whole laps to compete here for the main event time when it comes time later on this evening. Checkered flag is flying though now for our Rookie Cage class, where all of our racers are winners. So once again, we had Logslet in the 13, LeBlond in the 22, the 0 of Johnson, 5S of Pettit, Demo in the 11, and Smith in the 16. As they make their way off the track after getting that checkered flag, make sure to give them a big round of applause for their heat racing action that they have sent out. Up next, though, we'll lead it into the lineup for heat number 1 of 3 for our Arbox class. Colin, take it away with today's lineup.
Heat race number 1 will line up like this on the inside of row number 1 from Stanley, Wisconsin. That's the 36. It's Henry Junker. Henrik Hallrud on the outside in the 19H Henrik from Spring Valley, Wisconsin. Inside of row number 2 from Winona, Minnesota, that's Luke Pettit driving the number 4. And to the outside, Thorpe, Wisconsin's Palmer Haas in 21. Otto Erickson in 32 from Colfax, Wisconsin starts to the inside of row number 3. Dirks LeBond from Downsville, Wisconsin in 22 starts in 6th. 6 carts going 8 laps around the Thunder Hill Speedway for heat race number 1 of 3 for the night's Arbox division.
Now, just a reminder for all of you out there, this is one of our classes tonight where we will be having a B main. So even though this is a heat race, these racers are going to be giving it their all to ensure, or at least try to ensure, a direct transfer to the A main later on tonight. No one wants to have to battle their way through a B main, so everyone is going to be giving it quite their all to make sure that they can line up without having to go through that second set. We have 17 competitors out here tonight in the Arbox class. We'll have the B mains prior to the feature later on this evening as we send them around the track. Give them a ready to go on the back straightaway. I believe we will be going green flag this time by.
Junker and Hallrud bring us to the green flag. Good start on the inside for Pettit in number 4. Pettit has the preferred line on the bottom. Give Pettit the lead down the back straightaway. Junker now looks back to the inside. We've got a battle for the 3rd spot as well. Good racing all around. Give the top spot to the 4 of Luke Pettit.
Now, Henry Junker is your current points champion in this class by a mere 3 points. So he's definitely going to be giving it his all. The 4 of Pettit, however, making moves. Pettit, they've been swapping back and forth. Pettit now up to the lead. Right now sitting in 4th in the standings. Currently 1st on the track as he backslides to 2nd. We've had 3 different race leaders, well, 2 race leaders so far this race, swap back 3 or 4 times already. Some great racing action out there out front where we have a nice little 3-racer battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th between the 19H of Hollerud, the 32 of Erickson, and then the 22 of LeBlanc just behind, trying to make it a 3-cart battle for 4th.
Junker starting to stretch out that lead little by little out front. Then it's Pettit, Haas, Hallrud, Erickson, LeBlanc, rounding out the field. Now LeBlanc gets by Erickson for the 5th spot. This time around, 2 laps to go. The lead duo still fairly close down the back straightaway. This time around, the white flag will fly for Henry Junker in 36.
1 lap left to go for your championship leader, trying to make it a heat race win on the evening. We're coming in through turns 3 and 4. Pettit has one last chance to battle back. Not gonna go, however. Henry Junker is gonna be your first heat race winner in the Arbox class. Luke Pettit gonna settle for 2nd, and it's going to be the 21 of Palmer Haas, rounding out your top 3 for your first Arbox heat of the evening. That was heat race number 1. Heat race number 2, we're going to have another 6 racers coming at you for this one. Our starting lineup is going to look like this. On the inside of row number 1, we have the 34 of Brantley Langer out of Menominee, Wisconsin. And to Brantley's right is going to be Harper Halapka piloting the 23 from Wheeler, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, we're going to have Minnesota City, Minnesota's Axel Fahrenholtz behind the wheel of the 20X, side by side with the 16 of Oakley Booth out of Colfax, Wisconsin. And inside that 3rd and final row is going to be the 1 of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin's Bentley Larson, and the 44 of Levi Anderson out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin. 6 racers, 8 laps, and it's the 16 of Oakley Booth that's currently sitting 2nd in the points, ahead of a 2-point difference from the 3rd place racer, the 23 of Halapka. Both racers in this race. Green flag is out, and it's going to be the 34 of Langer leading them in through 1 and 2.
Langer leads down the back straightaway. Halapka in the 2nd spot at the leading lap number 1 is going to be Brantley Langer. 2nd is Halapka, Fahrenholtz in 3rd, Booth in 4th, Anderson 5th, and Larson in that 6th and final running spot at the moment as the lead starts to get closer out of turn number 4.
Single file throughout the field, but that doesn't mean we don't have close battles going on. We have a nice little battle raging for third and fourth between Fahrenholtz and Booth. Booth looking down to the inside, trying to make a move, coming out of four, side by side on the front straightaway. Slight advantage to Booth going into turn number one. Booth going to secure that third place spot. Fahrenholtz not going to go without a challenge, though. He goes back down, ducks to the inside. Fahrenholtz back up to 3. Halfway through this race, and we're swipping and swapping, moving back and forth. Fahrenholtz now securing that third place spot. Booth behind in fourth. Out front, though, that battle still raging on for the lead between Langer and Halapka. Halapka looks to the outside, ducks down to the inside. It's Langer, Halapka, Fahrenholtz, Booth, Anderson, your top 5 as it stands.
This time around, 2 laps to go for Brantley Langer. Harper Halapka follows right in the tire track. Oakley Booth up to the third spot with Fahrenholtz in fourth. Best battle on the Speedway continues to be the lead duo. White flag, 1 lap to go.
Langer's going to lead them into turn 1 and 2. Halapka looks down low. He's trying to make the move. He has half a lap to do it. Through turns 3 and 4, one final time onto the front straightaway. Langer is going to take the checkered flag. Your second heat race winner of the Arbox class. Halapka going to finish for second, and it'll be the 16 of Booth able to secure that third podium spot for heat race number 2 of 3, our final heat race for the Arbox class. Coming up next, Colin, why don't you give us that starting lineup?
The lineup will line up like this on the inside of row number 1 from Boyceville, Wisconsin. That's Dakota Bus in 787. Kate Knops in the 93 starts to the outside from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Rolling Stone, Minnesota, Sullivan Thill in 95 starts to the inside of row number 2, and to the outside it's Austin Hoover from Hudson, Wisconsin in the 777. All alone on row number 5 from Marshfield, Wisconsin, it's Ben Bargender in the number 10. This time 5 carts going 8 laps for the third and final Arbox heat race.
Now, as a reminder, we will be doing a B main for this class later on tonight. So even though this is a heat race, they're fighting for more than just their starting spots during the feature. They're fighting for a direct transfer to the A main, so they are going to be giving it their all, trying to make sure that they don't have to transfer through the B main. Coming out of 4, green lights are out. And it's going to be the 787 of Dakota Bus setting the pace, leading the charge in through turns 1 and 2. We have a nice little side-by-side battle raging on for second and third between the 93 of Knops and the 95 of Phil. You might even be seeing a fourth competitor trying to get up in the mix here, as it's now a 4-racer battle for the top 4 spots.
They'll get close out of turn number 4. Leading lap number 2 is still Bus. Knops in second, Thill third, Bargender in fourth, and Hoover. It looks like we got Bargender stopped on the exit of turn number 4. That will bring out our first caution flag of the evening.
Well, I gotta say, 5 races in with no cautions. We get our first caution in heat race number 6 of the evening. This is setting a solid pace for the day, knock on wood, but definitely nice to see early on here. For our final heat race of the Arbox class. Looks like the 10 of Bargender able to get it restarted there, refired, a track worker getting him all started and ready to go. We're going to reline them up on the front straightaway here in their correct restarting order before we get back to some green flag action here in just a moment. After leaving the race early on, I believe it will be the 787 of Dakota Bus starting the lineup. Then we have the 93 of Knops sitting in second, the 95 of Phil in fourth. And then because Bargender did cause that that last caution we have, I believe it will be the 777 of Hoover starting in fourth, with the 10 of Bargender rounding out your 5-cart field. Making sure everyone is lined up in their correct restarting order, ready to go before we get back to some green flag action here for round number 3 of our QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series. Tonight's racing presented to you by Quality Auto Body. Green flag is out. Bus going to lead them into 1 and 2.
We've got one lap in the books as we restart this third and final heat race. Bus leads into turn 3 and 4. Knops not far behind, as well as the 95 of Still. They'll look to the outside, unable to make a pass down the front straightaway. Once again, 3 karts right there for the top spot. Here comes the 95. Now, once again, the 93. Good battling out front. Dakota Bus continues to lead.
As we head into turns 1 and 2, it's back to a 4-kart battle. As Bargener gets a little sideways, he's able to save it this time, though. Doesn't draw the caution. So that is going to bring us from a 4-kart battle down to a 3-kart battle for the lead. As Knops looks to the outside, ducks down low through turns 2 and 3. Look at Thill, though. Thill trying to move him on the outside. Knops takes his spot, though. Side-by-side battle for the lead as we get back out onto the front stretch. Slight advantage to Bus. Knops that time behind. Knops trying to make the move with 3 laps left to go. It's Bus, Knops, Phil.
Knops look to the outside again. Nothing happening through 3 and 4. Bus continuing to lead on the bottom side of the speedway. Now, once again, here comes the 95 of Phil. They'll go fence post formation down the back straightaway. And now, once again, through 3 and 4. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Dakota Bus.
Now, even though we haven't seen many position swaps during this race at the top 3, we are having some great racing action. One final time out of turn number 4. At the line, it's a drag race, and it's going to be the 787 of Dakota Bus barely holding on to that lead. The 93 of Kate Knops going to settle for second. Phil rounding out your top 3 for heat race number 3. Now, like I was saying, even though we didn't see a lot of passing and side-by-side movement during that race, there was a lot of great racing action there. All 3 racers at the front of the field, not only attacking competitively, but also defending their position as well. You know, we saw lots of moves to the outside. Phil trying to come by, Knops able to defend while still making moves on Bus. Great racing action for our final heat race of the Arbox class. Now we'll move into our first heat race of 3 for the junior wings. Colin, feel free to take it away.
Evan Martineau in the 22E starts on the inside of row number 1 from South Range, Wisconsin. Dylan Subert in the 1S to the outside. Kane Bus inside of row number 2 in the 88. That is Grant Keller in 31. Bentley Halapka in 99 starts on the inside of row number 3. And Luke Patterson to the outside in the 15 junior. 6 karts going 8 laps for heat race number 4 for the junior wings. Or excuse me, heat race number 1 for the junior wings, your 4th class of the evening.
Marno's going to lead them through that first lap as Subert's able to make moves up. Subert now moving back to 3rd, actually. You know, we have some nice single file racing throughout the field. Halapka pulling the charge, making the move across Martineau. Halapka, not only your championship leader, but also your current heat race leader. The 1S of Dylan Subert sitting 2nd overall in the standings as it stands. Now trying to make a move up to 2nd in this heat race. It's side by side on the front straightaway. Subert with the slight advantage, that time by Martineau, now back to 3rd.
Here comes the 15 junior of Patterson to take over the 3rd spot from Martineau. Bentley Halapka out front by 1.3 seconds in 99. That 99 started 5th. Out front walking the dog so far is Bentley Halapka in 99.
Just over halfway through this heat race, and Halapka is showing these other racers how it is done. Making his way through turns 3 and 4, setting an absolutely blistering pace. Another lap in the books there. It's Halapka, Subert, Patterson, Martineau, Keller, your top 5 as it currently stands. One more time through turns 3 and 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for heat race number 1 of our junior wing class.
He maybe didn't lead from the drop of the green flag, but he didn't take long to get there. Bentley Halapka wins heat race number 1. Dylan Subert in 2nd. Luke Patterson 3rd. Ethan Martineau 4th. Grant Keller 5th. And Kane Bus rounds out the finishing order in 6th. Good racing in heat race number 2. As heat race number 1, heat race number 2 about ready to roll onto the speedway.
Starting lineup for heat race number 2 is going to look like this. 6 competitors coming at you for 8 laps. Inside of row number 1, we have Chautauqua, Wisconsin's Nathan Gunderson piloting the 30. To his right, Brandon Stevens racing the 15 out of Oliva, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2 sees Woodville, Wisconsin's 21M of Owen Malmgren, alongside Trip Swan racing the 18T out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And inside that third and final row, we have Mason Lockburner piloting the 20 from Bruce, Wisconsin, alongside Minnesota City, Minnesota's Ashton Fahrenholtz racing the 21 machine. 6 racers, 8 laps for heat race number 2 of our junior wing class. Green light is out, and it's going to be the 30 of Gunderson leading them, but that did not seem to be the start that we wanted, so we're going to re-rack them and restack them before we get back to some official green flag racing action here.
We'll get everybody back bunched up. And next time around, the field will see the green flag. We need the 21 of Owen Malmgren and the 20 of Mason Lockburner to trade positions, as one was inside of row number 2 and one was inside of row number 3. The field is stacked up and ready to go. Out of turn number 4, it's Gunderson and it's Stevens to the green.
Into turn 1 and 2. Racing looks good this time around, and it's the 30 of Gunderson leading them through the charge. We have some nice moves down to the inside, swapping, bumping, banging in that second and third place spot. I believe currently sitting second is the 21 machine of Fahrenholtz from the very back of the field, making moves, now trying to make a pass for the lead. He looks to the outside of Gunderson, side by side onto the backstretch as we move into turns 3 and 4. Slight advantage to Gunderson. Fahrenholtz gets a little wobbly. He makes the push. Fahrenholtz, your new race leader, from the very back row, final starting spot on the grid, now up to the race lead, and he is absolutely pulling away with only 1 lap in. We are now halfway through this heat race.
4 down, 4 to go. Fahrenholtz showing the way in number 21. Good battle now between Swan and Lockburner. Give that spot to Lockburner in number 20. Now here comes Lockburner to the inside of Stevens. Give Lockburner the 3rd spot. Mason Lockburner starting to move forward in cart number 20.
It's Fahrenholtz, Gunderson, Lockburner, Stevens, Swan, your top 5 as it stands at the white flag. 1 more lap to go for Fahrenholtz, who has shown these kiddos how it's done. A 2.1 second gap from the back row. 1 final time out of turn number 4. Checkered flag is going to fly. Ashton Fahrenholtz from the back going to take the heat race win. The 30 of Gunderson going to have to settle for second. And it's going to be the 20 of Mason Lockburner, also from the back row, rounding out your podium for heat race number 2 of the junior wing class. As a reminder, we do have a B main in this class later on, so these racers are battling for a direct transfer to the A main. Heat race number 3, your lineup's going to look like this. Inside of row number 1, we have the 8 of Alan Byrne racing out of Trempealeau, Wisconsin, alongside the 14 of Archer Hoffbeck from Randolph, Minnesota. Inside of row number 2, the 19 of Owatonna, Minnesota's Jacob Demmel, alongside the 3J of Winona, Minnesota's Jonathan Pettit III. Joseph Bargender is going to race the 10 machine out of Marshfield, Wisconsin in row number 3. And in that final starting spot, Elk Mound, Wisconsin's very own Dalton Anderson racing the 75. 6 racers, 8 laps for your final heat race of the junior wing class.
Green flag 5 over heat race number 3. Byrne takes the lead. We've got a 3-cart battle for that 2nd spot. Jacob Demmel on the inside. Now here comes Jonathan Pettit. Devil's got it, but Byrne leads lap number 1.
Tight racing throughout those top 5 spots as Demmel looks down to the inside, trying to make a move for the lead. He's able to swap by. Demmel, your new heat race leader. Byrne going to move back to 2nd. Hoffbeck still sitting in the 3rd, waiting in the wings, trying to see if he might be able to get into this battle as well. It's Demmel, Byrne, Hoffbeck, Pettit the 3rd, Bargender, your top 5 as it currently stands. We're only 2 laps into this heat race. Lots of racing action left to go.
Demo starting to stretch out that lead in number 19. Just about 3/4 of a second that time by, with Byrne in second, Hoffbeck in third, Pettit the third in fourth, Bargender in fifth, and Anderson still in that sixth spot. Everybody's spent fourth formation as we're running around the Thunderhill Speedway.
2 laps left to go, and Demo putting an absolute clinic on here with a full 1.5 second gap between him and the 8 of Alan Byrne sitting in second. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for Jacob Demmel in the lead. Byrne sitting in second. Hoffbeck battling off a raging 3J of Pettit the third, but the checkered flag flies. Jacob Demmel's going to be a heat race winner tonight. The 8 of Alan Byrne going to settle for second. And in that third place spot, I believe it was the 14 of Archer Hoffbeck holding on to that third place spot, rounding out your podium for heat number 3 of the junior wing class. Up next, our Legends Direct Legend cars. Colin, I'll let you read off the starting lineup.
The lineup will look like this for our Legends cars. On the inside of row number 1, it's Cumberland, Wisconsin's Aiden Erickson in 49. Levi Brewer in car number 94 from Ridgeland, Wisconsin, starts on the inside of row number 2. And to the inside of row number 2, it's Davey Pinnell in 86 from Sparta, Wisconsin. Outside of row number 2 is Mark Brewer, Mark from Pierre, South Dakota, driving 60. Shadow Kitchener starts to the inside of row number 3 from Arkansas, Wisconsin in the 7. Derek Crumry in the 33 starts to the outside from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Jackson Kashadi in the 7K starts to the inside of row number 4 from Ramsey, Minnesota, and to the outside it's Osseo, Wisconsin 4S is Chris Sleep. Josiah Kashadi in 67 starts in the 9th and final spot from Ramsey, Minnesota, driving 67. 9 cars going 8 laps for the one and only heat race tonight for the Legends Direct Legend cars.
Now, just because we only have one heat race doesn't mean we are not going to see some great racing action. The Legends Direct class, another fun class to watch here at Thunderhill Speedway week in and week out. Always love getting to see them bring the action here to this 6th-mile oval in Menominee, Wisconsin. We're going to tighten them up. Bring them out of turn number 4. Green flag flies. And it's going to be the 49 of Erickson leading the charge, but he's got the 86 of Pennell hot on his tail to the inside, trying to make a move. I believe he's able to get by Pennell, your new race leader, as we move on to the backstretch.
Davey Pennell's got the lead. Here comes Brewer on the outside, along with the 60 of Brewer to the inside. The yellow flag will come out. It looks like one around. That's the 33 of Crumry. Good racing action so far through one lap on tonight's Legends Direct Legend Car Heat Race.
I mean, like I was saying, Colin, just because we only have 9 racers out there, one heat race, doesn't mean we're not going to see some great racing action. The Legends Direct class always puts on a heck of a show for us here. We've been 1 lap in already. We've already seen a couple swaps for position here. We have a new race leader. Pennell's able to get by Brewer to lead the charge here. We got some great racing for you, and 7 more laps left to go here. As a quick reminder, while we are getting everyone relined up in their correct starting order, we are live streaming tonight's events for free on MBTVsports.com and the affiliated MBTV Sports Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter/X pages. So for any of those in the grandstands who weren't able to have their family and friends show up for some fun racing action live in Menominee, Wisconsin tonight, we are able to give them that racing action from the comfort of their own home. Send them those links as we get back to some green flag action with the 86 of Pennell leading the charge through turns 1 and 2.
Pennell got the lead. The battle between the second place runners, Erickson and Brewer. Give Brewer the spot. Here comes the 68 of Mark Brewer down the back straightaway. We've got one into the wall. That's the 7 of Kashadi. He's able to keep going as we will stay green. Kashadi will limp it into the infield. Once again, we'll stay green.
lucked out, just barely missed that caution there. Out
Well,
front,
as
though,
we say that,
it's single file. And right as I say it, looks like we didn't quite skirt that caution. But we've got Pennell, Brewer, Kitchener, Erickson, and Brewer, your top 5, as we re-rack them, make sure we are all set and ready to go before we get back to some more green flag action here in just a second. Well, we have a moment here. I want to take a quick second to thank a few more of our sponsors for the season: Ace Hardware, Fleet Farm, Aaron Wool's Snap-on, and we also have TMS Tire and Auto, Eau Claire Diesel Service, H&T Automotive, A&M Fiberglass Manufacturing, and Irvington Garage Towing. Big shout out to all of those helping us bring racing action to you here as we get back to green flag racing.
everybody right along the bottom through turn 1 and 2. Pennell continuing to lead. Here comes the 67 of Bishotti for the 3rd spot. Excuse me, for the 5th spot. Good battling throughout the field. Pennell, Brewer, Kitchener, Erickson, and Mark Brewer in that 5th spot with 3 laps to go.
We have a Facebook shout out from Dana Steen Johnson. Give her Chris W. Sleep. We got some shout outs going on. Feel free to type a response in the comments for all you live streaming tonight's action on MBTVsports.com. We'll send your shout out over the airwaves if it's appropriate, that is. Out front, though, Pennell still leading the charge, but he's got a feisty Brewer and Kitchener right behind him on his tail. White flag is out one last time out of turn number 4, and Pennell is going to take the W here today. Looks like it's the 94 Brewer sneaking by, able to hold on to that 2nd place spot, and the 7 of Kitchener is going to round out your podium for the Legends Direct Legends class here at Thunderhill Speedway. And just like that, we're officially 2/3 of our way through heat racing action here tonight. That was heat race number 10 of the night. We have 15 total. Up next, our intermediate wing class. We have 9 entries for a single heat race here. In the inside of row number 1 out of Stanley, Wisconsin, we have the 44 of Reese Smith side by side with Kennedy Cluckus, the number 8 out of Colfax, Wisconsin. Noah Pollock's going to sit on the inside of row number 2, racing the 29 from Pepin, Wisconsin, side by side with Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, 1S of Dylan Subert. Colin Haas out of Thorpe, Wisconsin, is going to race the 17 on the inside of row 1, row 3. Knops, Blumsky, Byrne, Pettit going to follow behind as we're green flag action here in the intermediate wing class.
Cars all over through turn 1 and 2. Able to point them straight. Reese Smith will lead lap number 1 with Haas, Subert, Lucas, and the rest of the field. Good battle here for the 4th spot with the 29 of Pollock. We'll swap positions all throughout the back of the field, but out front, it's Reese Smith in 44.
On the backstretch going into turns 3 and 4, we've still got a raging 5-rider battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All fighting to defend that top spot in the top 5. Out front alone, though, trying to pull away, the 44 of Reese Smith, putting on a solid show out front. Colin Haas in the 17, right behind in 2nd, a little space back to Subert in the 1S. And then we've got a nice side-by-side battle for 4th and 5th between Cluckus and Byrne, the dual 8 machines, as Pollock moves back to 6th. Now another spot back as the 27 machine of Xander Glumsky able to get by and battle for that 6th place spot, leading that 3-cart battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
White flag flies for Reese Smith out front in 44 all alone. Good battle once again back there as the yellow flag will come out. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Man, we had some pretty solid racing action there going on, not just at the front of the field, but all throughout it. You know, at one point I saw a 5-cart battle for position. Out front, we've had a nice 4-cart battle. Colin, we have some great racing action going on here in the intermediate wing class tonight.
Good competitive action all over the field. Like you said, it's awesome to see how hard these kids drive, and and how close to racing they get. Back to green flag racing with Reese Smith out front in 44. It'll be a green-white checkered. Alan Haas in the second spot. Then it is Stubert in 1F. Once again, we're battling with Byrne in the 8th and the 95 of Caleb Knopf. White flag is out, 1 to go for Reese Smith down the back straightaway. Good battle throughout the field. It's Byrne battling back there, but Reese Smith will pick up the win. Callan Haas will come second. Dylan Stewart, Caleb Knopf, Noah Pawlowski, Alan Byrne, Kennedy Klukas, Jonathan Pettit, and Xander Glumsky. Great racing for your one and only heat race tonight for the intermediate wing division. Next up onto the Speedway will be tonight's Sportsman's. And the heat racing lineup will look like this. It's Gene Superi in 97, starting on the inside of row number 1. Ramon Perez in 25 from Cumberland, Wisconsin, will start to the outside. Inside of row number 2, Eau Claire, Wisconsin's Jake Johnson driving 74. And to the outside, it's Trayton Velchuk in the 55 from Rock Falls, Wisconsin. Steve Savals in 191 starts to the inside of row number 3. And to the outside is Matt Vilcek in the 555 from Hudson, Wisconsin. Starting in the 4th row on the inside is Josh Schuster from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin in 76. And to the outside, your final starter, it's Ashton Henshin in the 88 from Rock Falls, Wisconsin. 8 carts going 8 laps in tonight's Sportsman division. Looks like one not making the call, but we will see the green out of turn number 4. And we're underway.
3 wide, flirting with 4 wide into that first corner there. Man, these sportsmen really know how to give us a good show, starting off strong out front early. Looks like that's the 74 of Jake Johnson out of Eau Claire leading the charge here ahead of a 5-cart battle for first, second, third, and fourth. It's Johnson, Savals, Perez, Vlachek as it stands. Savals fights down to the inside, side by side on the back straightaway through turns 1 and 2. It's now slight advantage to Savals coming out onto the backstretch. Battle for third place as well as Vlachek comes up to the inside of Perez. Vlachek now in your top 3.
Good battling all over. Savals has it. Johnson in second. Trayton Velchuk into the 3rd spot. Ramon Perez in 4th with Matt Velchuk in 5th. We'll go side by side now with the 25. Getting by the 555 in turn 1 and 2. But out front, it's Steve Savals with 3 laps to go.
Savals able to make it by and trying to create a little gap there on Johnson and Volchek, but they are sticking with him there. You know, we get back onto the front straightaway, 2 laps left to go. Savals leading that battle between Johnson and Volchek. Volchek looks to the outside, tries to duck down low. We might be seeing a late race pass for that 2nd place spot as the white flag comes out one final time onto the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. It's going to be Savals taking the checkered flag, leading the charge here with the W. In second, it's still going to be the 74 of Jake Johnson holding on to that spot. The 55 of Volchek going to settle for 3rd place. We had some nice racing action throughout the field, though. The only thing that may have been better than that racing action, though, is that crowd that we have here tonight at Thunder Hill Speedway. I mean, take a look. For those in the stands right now, look over your shoulder. Look how many people we have here at the track this evening. For those of you live streaming tonight's races on MBTVsports.com, look at this shot. We have lots of people viewing there tonight, lots in attendance. The weather absolutely beautiful, which is setting us up for some awesome racing action to follow. That was our lone sportsman class. Now we'll move into heat race number 1 of 2 for our 125-250 wing class. Lineup's going to look like this. Inside row number 1, we have the 99 JR of Landon Superi out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Side by side, with the 8 of Brody Conkey racing out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin. Row number 2 sees Indianola, Iowa's Riley Dawson racing the 6B alongside the 99 of Wheeler, Wisconsin's Bentley Halapka. And in that third and final row, we have the UFO2 of Holden Harder out of Madison, Wisconsin. And side by side with him, Caleb Kropp racing Menominee, Wisconsin's 29 machine. We're going to give them a chance to warm up their tires, get a feel for it. And the carts to watch this race is going to be the 6D of Riley Dawson, your current points leader. He's won both races we've had here this year at Thunder Hill Speedway. He's looking to make it 3 for 3 later on tonight during the A-Main. But right now he's got to battle up for a heat race win. We've got them all lined up and ready to go. Send them onto the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. They're going to take the green flag, and it's going to be the 99 JR of Supri leading them through 1 and 2.
Here comes Dawson on the inside. He'll take over the top spot. At the line, it's Dawson leading. Conkey in second, Carter in third, Supri in fourth, Halapka in fifth, with Kropp rounding out the running order through lap number 2. Riley Dawson leads in 16.
Now that was just the start that Dawson was looking for. He was able to rocket down to the inside of the rest of the competitors, and he is very quickly putting that gap in there. Already a near 1.5-second gap between first and second place. Dawson now halfway through this heat race, leading the 8 of Conkey, the UFO2 of Harder, the 99 of Halapka in fourth, and Supri rounding out your top 5.
Riley Dawson continuing to lead in 6D. The last time, 1.6-second lead. This time around, the lead is up to 2 seconds. As my friend Tony Bachhoven would say, Riley Dawson has thrown the keys on the counter and he's checked out.
White flag is out one last time around the Thunder Hill Speedway 6 mile for the 6D of Dawson. He's your current championship leader, and he's showing us why as he takes the checkered flag in heat number 1 of the 125-250 wing class. It's going to be Harder finishing second after a well-fought battle. The UFO2 sitting in that second place spot. That was heat race number 1 of 2. We had 6 racers in the first race. Now we have 5 racers in the second race for a total of 11 entries, my bad. Heat race number 2, your lineup's going to look like this. We have the 66B of Blake DeSmith out of Downing, Wisconsin. And to his right, Cadott, Wisconsin's Jackson Helland racing the 2.0. On the inside of row number 2, we have the 30 of Tyler Alton out of New Richmond, Wisconsin, alongside Rice Lake, Wisconsin's Davin Hawk racing the 22. And the lone competitor in that third and final row is going to be Bruce, Wisconsin's Nick Moulter, piloting the 13E. 5 racers about to hit the track for 8 laps of good old-fashioned racing action here for heat race number 2 of the intermediate wing class. The 22 of Davin Hawk, starting in that 4th place spot on the outside of row number 2, is currently sitting second in the yearly point standings here at Thunder Hill Speedway. So he's going to have something to prove when it comes on to the A-Main later on tonight, but he's going to try to set himself up well during this heat race for a decent starting spot during the A-Main later on tonight. But he's going to have to work his way through quite a bit of traffic ahead of him if he wants to be able to do so. We're going to tighten them up on the back straightaway here. As we move into turn 3, lineup looks good. Green flag is out. And a nice jump from the 22 of Hawk into turn number 1. Already your race leader. As we move into turns 3 and 4, it's Hawk out front, setting the pace for the rest of the field. The 2.0 of Helen currently sitting in second.
Hawk will lead lap number 2. He's parted on the initial start for at number 22 of Davenhausen. Hasn't looked back yet. Elland in the second spot. Now we're battle for second. Alton will have it at the line in number 30. Elland will be in third, Mulder in fourth, and DeSmith rounding out the running order in fifth.
Hawk putting on a heck of a show here tonight, as we've got the 66B of DeSmith up into the wall. That is going to draw our caution for heat race number 2. We're going to get DeSmith all re-centered and ready to go, make sure he is all re-fired up and set to get back out there. Track workers on the scene, and unfortunately for DeSmith, it looks like he might be getting the rough push in. I see him flagging down to the infield. It looks like DeSmith's heat race has come to an early close, unfortunately for him. So what started as 5 racers are now going to round out as 4. We've got them single file lined up on the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is going to fly with 6 laps left to go.
Good start for Alton. He'll look to the outside in turn 1 and 2 to get around Helen. He'll race down the back straightaway. Now Alton looks to diamond off 3 and 4 at the line. The second spot will go to Tyler Alton in number 30, but the yellow flag will come out. Yellow on the field. Work going on the 66B of Blake DeSmith down on the infield.
Not quite sure what's going on with DeSmith there. He missed the last start, and it looks like they might be trying to figure out what's going on with that cart there. Obviously having some issues, as it looks like we have a locked left rear wheel there. Not sure if they weren't far enough off the track or what exactly caused that caution there that time around. But we've got them relined up and ready to go. As we move on to the back straightaway, it is Hawk, Helland, Alton, Moulter, your top 4 as it stands before this green flag.
Hawk with a good jump down the front straightaway to start us off. We've got 6 laps remaining, 2 laps down. If the battle for second place will get back heated like it was that last short little green flag run, it looks like it will. Alton to the inside in turn 1 and 2. Able to make anything happen.
Hawk with a blistering pace out front, pulling away from that side-by-side battle for second and third. Slight advantage on the backstretch to the 30 of Alton. Helen going to do everything possible to fight back, but Alton had the run that he needed, and he is pulling away, setting his sights on the 22 of Hawk. Not quite sure he'll be able to catch up to him, as Hawk has developed a more than 2-second gap between first and second place, but Alton has already put a nice cushion between him and the 2.0 of Helen. As we come to the white flag, 1 lap left to go for the 22 of Hawk. In through turns 3 and 4, checkered flag is in his sights. Gavin Hawk is going to be a heat race winner here tonight. It'll be the 30 of Alton finishing second, the 2.0 of Jackson Helland rounding out your top 3 for heat race number 2 of the 125-250 wing class. And just like that, hard to believe, but we are already on our final heat race of the night. Before we move into this starting lineup, a reminder that before we go to our intermission and our main events later on this evening, we do have 2 B mains that will be following up next. We have our Arbox B main, followed by our Junior Wing B main. And I believe we are doing the Rookie Cage main event before our intermission. But in the meantime, 4 carts coming out for our Gopher Midget Racing Series heat race. Colin, I'll let you take it away with the starting lineup.
On the inside of row number 1, he had a good weekend last weekend at the Cedar Lake Speedway from Osceola, Wisconsin. It's Edison Aldrich in 76. Starting to the outside, it's Ryan Bowers, Ryan in the 55 from Now Then, Minnesota. Inside of row number 2, he is a regular in the Bodie Collision and Glass 305 sprint car along with a 410 sprint car at the Houston Speedway. He's from Olivia, Minnesota. That's Trevor Service in the number 10. And starting on the outside of row number 2, this gentleman has raced for as long as most of the field combined is years old. It's Johnny Parsons III from Owatonna, Minnesota in 85. Those are your 4 cars going 8 laps for the Gopher Midget heat racing action here at Thunderhill Speedway.
One of our noticeable absentees tonight is going to be the C71 of Carter Jensrud, current points champion in the Gopher Midget Racing Series class here at Thunderhill Speedway. He's won both of the Gopher Midget Racing Series races earlier on, not making it out today. So it's going to be
Carter racing in Indianapolis, Indiana at the BC 39. So might not be at Thunderhill, but he is at a super cool event. The green flag flies on heat racing action for the Gopher Midgets. It's Ryan Bowers out front. Trevor Service in the second spot with Johnny Parsons III in the third spot. Troubles for Edison Aldrich. He's still running, but he will be in that fourth running order as Ryan Bauer crosses the line for lap number 2.
Aldrich currently sitting in second in the point standings, ahead of a 1-point battle for third between him and Ryan Bowers. So, when it comes time to the main event later on tonight, we're definitely going to be wanting to watch Aldrich and Bowers, see how that works out. Aldrich not having the start that he's looking for. Like you're saying, off the pace a little bit earlier on. Out front, though, the 55 of Bowers with a blistering pace, 2-second gap over the 10 of Service out of Olivia, Minnesota, as we are just over halfway through this final heat race of the evening.
Ryan Bowers slowly getting better and better inside of that 55 car throughout the season. 2 laps to go for Ryan Bowers. Trevor Service continues to run in second. And then it's Johnny Parsons III and Edison Aldrich. All of these cars rallying right around the guardrails of the Thunderhill Speedway down the back straightaway for the final time. Ryan Bowers will pick up the win for heat racing action for the Gopher Midgets. Second will go to Trevor Service. Third to Johnny Parsons III. And Edison Aldrich will round out the field, but picking up the win for the Gopher Midgets. That's the 55 from Now Then, Minnesota. It's Ryan Bowers.
And just like that, our heat races come to a close, but don't get up just yet, as I believe we're about to move into our 2 B mains of the evening, and we'll be starting things off strong with our Arbox class. We have 7 competitors about to hit the track here. Only a handful of them are going to be transferring into our A main later on this evening. Starting lineup's going to look like this, though, fighting out front. At the top 2 positions is going to be the 22 of Downsville, Wisconsin's Dirks LeBlanc, side by side with Levi Anderson racing the 44 out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, Henrik Hollerud piloting the 19H from Spring Valley, Wisconsin. And Minnesota City, Minnesota's Axel Fahrenholz racing the 20X. Inside row number 3, we have the 777 of Hudson, Wisconsin's Austin Hover, alongside Otto Eriksson racing the 32 out of Colfax, Wisconsin. And in that 4th and final row, all by themselves, is going to be the 1 of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin's Bentley Larson. 7 carts for 7 laps in our first of 2 B mains of the evening.
Only 2 will move on to a feature racing. Once again, we'll get everybody stopped and in the proper running order here.
Now, one quick reminder for the fans in the stands and live streaming online tonight. So with this Arbox class, they may not be as fresh to racing as the rookie cage class that we've seen earlier on today, but we do need to keep in mind that these are some youngsters out there. They're the future of the sport, but that being said, we still need to make sure that they're having some learning moments here So one thing you will see us doing slightly differently with this class as opposed to some of the other classes we have out there this evening is traditionally when it comes to, our first race of, or our first start of the night or any restarts we may have, we are going to see them come to a stop somewhere on the front stretch, early back stretch. Just make sure we can get them all in line in a quicker fashion than trying to talk through them over the radios. So now that we have their correct starting lineup all set and ready to go, LeBlond and Anderson going to lead them into turns 3 and 4. Green flag is going to come out, and it's the 19H of Hollerud with a nice jump off the line there. He's going to lead them in through 1 and 2 as we're 3 wide moving onto the backstretch.
LeBlond's got the lead, a good 3-cart battle for 2 spots. Leading at the line is LeBlond, and then it's Fahrenholtz. Not far behind is Hollerud, Anderson, and Erickson.
Now remember, it's only the top 2 transferring through to the A main later on this evening, so that second place spot is going to be one to keep an eye on. Fahrenholtz in the lead. LeBlond in that final transfer position. The 19H of Hollerud setting chase, though, and don't count out right behind them another competitor. I believe that might be the 32 of Erickson, if I'm seeing things correctly, trying to pull up and make this a 4-cart battle for what can only be 2 transfer positions.
4 laps down, 3 laps to go for Fahrenholtz and LeBlond. Driving 1 and 2 right now. Levi Anderson in third, Hollerud, Erickson, Larson, and Hoover. 2 to go. That time by the lead duo, stretching it out over Anderson in third.
White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for our Arbox racers as our top 2 competitors, the only 2 transferring through to the A main later on, have put a nice gap between them and that battle for third. One final time out of turn number 4. Fahrenholtz gonna take the W today in the B main. The 22 of Dirks LeBlond gonna take that final transfer spot to the A main, but also give it up for the 44 of Anderson, 19H of Hollerud, and the 1 of Bentley Larson for a nice top 5 finish in this stacked Arbox B main event. That was our Arbox B main. Up next, we're going to see our lineup for the Junior Wing B main event. Colin, take it away.
Our final preliminary racing action of the night. The lineup will look like this. On the inside of row number 1, it's Trip Swan and 18P from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Outside from Winona, Minnesota, that's the 3J. It's Jonathan Pettit III. Inside of row number 2, it's Brandon Stevens in the 15 from Oliva, Wisconsin. Starting in the 4th spot at Menominee, Wisconsin, Grant Keller. Grant driving 31. Inside of row 3, it's Joseph Bargender from Marshfield, Wisconsin in the number 10. And to the outside, it's Kane Buss in 88. Final row, row 4, Owen Malmgren from Woodville, Wisconsin in the 21M. And to the outside, it's Dalton Anderson in 75 from Elk Mound, Wisconsin. 8 carts going, 8 laps, with the top 2 moving on with Trip Swan and Jonathan Pettit III bringing us to the green. Looks like one around.
Got 1 cart spinning around.
That's the 15 of Stevens. Stevens, as soon as the yellow flag comes out, will go back in motion, but the yellow flag does come out. We'll have no laps down. It looks like Jonathan Pettit III in the 3J unable to make the call. That'll give Grant Keller a good opportunity to transfer into the A main in 31. He'll take over the outside front row starting position.
We're going to make them single file, I believe, or I take it back. It looks like we are doubling them back up once again here for this restart. So it will be a full restart, I believe, as we did not make a full lap into it. We're going to slow them down on the front straightaway, so it should be Swan, Pettit III, Stevens, Keller, Bargender, Buss, Malmgren, Anderson as it stands. with the 15 of Stevens moving to the back of the field from causing that caution. So Bargender gets to move a spot up. Green flag is out. The 31 or the 3J 31 of Keller, my bad, going to set the pace here through turns 1 and 2.
Keller leads lap number 1 with Swan in second, and then it's Anderson from that last row starting spot. Here comes Bargender around the 21 of Malmgren as Grant Keller continues to lead with 2 down, 6 to go. Plenty of room between Swan and Anderson in that second and third place battle. The second spot gets the transfer spot. Right now, here's the best battle on the speedway for third and fourth. It's Anderson and it's Bargender. Bargender looks to the inside. Anderson still has it. Anderson hugs the inside, taking away any momentum that Bargender had with 3 laps to go for Grant Keller.
Keller with a blistering pace on the track. Already a 2 full second advantage over the 18T of Swan. But that battle's still raging for third and fourth. Bargender has it. Anderson wants it. Anderson trying to fight back to take over that third place position once again. But with 1 lap to go, one final time through 3 and 4 for the 31 of Keller. That might be it for Anderson and Bargender. Keller gonna take the main win tonight here in the junior wing class. Swan gonna finish second. And it'll be Bargender, Anderson, and Malmgren rounding out your top 5. And that right there is our final B main event of the evening. Before we get things on over to our intermission, we'll take a few quick minutes here. I believe we are going to send out our rookie cage class first for their main event before we take some time just to get the track all set and ready. And just like that, our rookie cage competitors gonna make their way out here. Another quick look at our lineup for the rookie cage class. As a reminder, we have 6 racers out there today. The 11 of Brooklyn Demel out of Owatonna, Minnesota to the inside of row number 1. Jack Smith racing the 16 from Fall Creek, Wisconsin on the outside. We have the 22 of Theo LeBlanc from Downsville, Wisconsin alongside Winona, Minnesota's 5S of Sam Pettit. Julian Logslet racing the 13 out of Colfax, Wisconsin, and the 0 of Aria Johnson from Black River Falls, Wisconsin, going to round out your 6-cart field for our rookie cage class.
Good battling on the right of the screen. That's the 11 of Brooklyn Demel along with the 16 of Jack Smith. There's the 22 of Theo LeBlanc also on the right side of your screen, or going through turn 3 and 4 down the back straightaway if you're watching live at the Thunderhill Speedway.
Some great racing action all throughout the field. Quick Facebook shout out from Rose DeBear. Go Theo number 22. Again, for any of you live streaming tonight's events on MBTVsports.com or any of the associated Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter pages, Donna Johnson says, go Aria. Give some shout outs to your favorite racers. Anyone we have in the stands here, we're happy to give you a quick shout. Cheryl No, thank you for watching and joining us here. Even though we weren't able to make it in person, we're happy to bring some live coverage of the racing through MBTV Sports here at Thunderhill Speedway. Get a nice little shot there of the 16 machine of Jack Smith putting on a solid run tonight, making his way onto the back straightaway, showing these racers how it's done in this rookie cage class. Now we have a little bit different way of going about the rookie cage class than our other racers. As a reminder, for any of those who didn't see their heat race earlier on tonight, whether you're in the grandstands or live streaming tonight, these are some pretty young racers we have out there, so we're just giving them a chance to get a feel for what it's like to be on a racetrack, giving them some laps behind the wheel of a kart. They may have been at this for a year now, a little more, a little less. We have some racers out there where I believe it's their second time behind the wheel of a kart on a racetrack. So we've got all different types of racers out there tonight for the rookie cage class. Lori Stein says, go Theo. Theo getting some great love here tonight in the rookie cage class. A couple of our youngsters duking it out there through turns 3 and 4. I believe that's the 0 of Johnson alongside the 16 of Smith. Putting another lap in the books. Another battle raging on the back between the 22 of LeBlanc and the 11 of Brooklyn Demmel. LeBlanc taking that outside line, Demmel taking that sneaky inside line. As Johnson and the 16 of Smith still raging war there. They pull to the infield. Now, another difference that we will see in this class as opposed to our other classes of the evening. In the rookie cage class, everyone here is a winner. So we're going to give all of our racers their chance to celebrate in victory lane. These youngsters might be fresh to racing, and so we want to give them a shot to see what it's like after putting in 12 hard-fought laps here at the 6th mile of Thunder Hill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. We want to make sure that they are celebrating the way they should be. So we'll give these racers a chance to unbuckle themselves from their carts, remove their helmets, and get all situated in victory lane. But once they are up there, I want to hear the loudest round of applause possible. I'm in Minnesota right now, and I want to be able to hear it outside my window. We'll let them run up to victory lane. As a reminder, your 6 racers in the rookie cage class tonight, the 13 of Julian Logslet, Theo LeBlanc in the 22, the 0 of Aria Johnson, Sam Pettit in the 5S, the 11 of Brooklyn Demmel, and the 16 of Jack Smith as they make their way up to the Thunder Hills Speedway victory lane, brought to you tonight by Quality Auto Body. I want to hear your loudest round of applause for our 6 rookie cage racers. Give it up, everybody. I can hear the roar of the crowd one state over as these rookie cage competitors have given it their absolute all. Looks like we're still missing one of our racers. So I want to hear a second round of applause. Big high fives on victory lane. Let's hear it one more time for our rookie cage racers. Julian, Theo, Aria, Sam, Brooklyn, Jack, congratulations to all of you. We'll let you take a moment here to celebrate your time in victory lane, as you guys all should. For those of you in the grandstands right now and live streaming tonight's activities on MBTVsports.com, we're going to take a quick intermission, hear from some of our sponsors, and we will be back for some great green flag action with our micro sprint class in just a few moments.
My 2 passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers that certified Angus beef. We know what our beef is continuously, and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life, and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was gonna be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of the year. I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town really puts things into perspective. It's the little things for me to be appreciated and respected. So this whole operation here, it doesn't have to be the biggest, but it needs to have passion. And today, I'm changing lives of people that work with me. My guys are learning lifelong skills and values. That's the good stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Let's have a good time at it.
When you've got to ship it from anywhere to anywhere,
QualityFreightRate.com.
the LTL Freight Logistics Specialist for your small business.
QualityFreightRate.com.
We simplify shipping, eliminate those surprise charges, and negotiate the best rates from most LTL qualified carriers.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Special residential and liftgate rates available for automotive and ag implements.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Use the promo code ICE and get 10% off your first shipment. Startup is so easy. Get a quote and ship today. QualityFreightRate.com.
Get ready to rock the river. It's Tribute Fest at River's Edge, June 20th and 21st in New Richmond, Wisconsin. 2 days of epic tribute bands, including ready to make a splash this summer. Grab your friends and head to River's Edge on the scenic Apple River. Whether you're looking to float the day away, camp under the stars, or catch live music and weekend events, River's Edge has everything you need for an unforgettable time. Book your tube, campsite, or party package now. River's Edge on the Apple River. Your summer starts here.
When you've got to ship it from anywhere to anywhere,
QualityFreightRate.com.
the LTL Freight Logistics Specialist for your small business.
QualityFreightRate.com.
We simplify shipping, eliminate those surprise charges, and negotiate the best rates from most LTL qualified carriers.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Special residential and liftgate rates available for automotive and ag implements.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Use the promo code ICE and get 10% off your first shipment. Startup is so easy. Get a quote and ship today. QualityFreightRate.com.
Ready to...
Ison's on the bottom, Peterson's up top. There goes Peterson. Peterson goes in at number 2 spot. Ison stays with him. Two to go. Adams up to the wall, off again, and down the front straightaway with 2 to go. Oh man, I'll tell you, hang on.
Every great journey begins with a trusted guide. And when it comes to finding your perfect home, there's no one better than Kathy Vetter. With over 10 years of experience and a passion for real estate, Kathy Vetter helps you find the perfect home, a peaceful country retreat, a cozy single-family house, or your very first step toward a lifetime home. She also specializes in commercial real estate, guiding you through every step of the way. From the heart of the metro to the scenic countryside, Kathy Vetter knows the Minnesota market inside and out, committed to finding the perfect fit for you, no matter where you are. Buying your first home can feel overwhelming, but with Vetter by your side, it's a smooth and exciting journey. She makes first-time buyers feel confident, supported, and understood, every single step of the way. From your first showing to handing over the keys, Kathy Vetter works tirelessly to ensure you get the home you've always wanted. Kathy Vetter, your trusted real estate expert across Minnesota. From vibrant metro living to serene countryside escapes to agricultural and commercial spaces. Let her help you unlock the door to your next chapter.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
Once we draw the number, whoever has that, if that child can head over by the concession stand, we've got a couple people over there that will walk them down and bring them down here.
58.
Ticket number 58. Any child that has 58.
Anybody got 58?
Any 58.
Right.
It's me. I have it.
You have it. You're not under 12.
Yeah.
You're 13 at least.
You might act like you're under 12. No. So, anybody have the 58? Yeah, up there. Over there. Over there. Oh, we're heading over that way. All right, somebody did have it. All right, there's the junior plat.
Hey. What are these, 900 cc? This one's a 1200, 1250. Oh, okay. They say it looks.
Welcome back, racers and race fans. We sat through a nice little intermission there, getting our track all ready to go, but we are just about a minute away from our second main event of the evening, our first main event post-intermission. We had our Rookie Cage main event leading into our intermission tonight, and now we're about to go things strong with our K&K Racing Micro Sprints class. As a quick reminder from earlier on, we've said it a couple times, but in an effort to cut down on track prep time throughout the night, we've made a few adjustments to the running order. So micro sprint racers are going to be our first post-intermission main event of the evening. After that, we will move into our Arbox class, followed by our junior wings, our Legends Direct Legend cars, our intermediate wings, Sportsman, 250 wings, and then we will round things off with our Gopher Midget Racing Series cars. So for those of you in the grandstands right now, you have just about another minute to finish up whatever you're doing, make your way back over to your seats before we get back to some green flag flying action here. And for those of you live streaming tonight's events for free on MBTVsports.com, the MBTV Sports YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X pages, you have us on in the background in the living room and you're over in the kitchen, make sure you finish things up, get back over to the couch, get all settled before we get back to some racing action. 8 of our 9 main events still have yet to go this evening, which is still quite a bit of solid racing action for the rest of the field, and we are excited to bring it to you all here. Lots of fun coming up here soon. Starting things off, though, we have our micro sprint class. We have our first micro sprint of the night out there right now. 16 racers making the call for our main event here tonight. 20 laps about to hit the track. And in the meantime, while we get the rest of our racers out on the field, I will give you our quick starting lineup for our 16-car entry. On the inside of row number 1, we have the 8W out of Welcome, North Carolina, Jaden Wagner. To his right, the 128 of Marshall Willing out of Becker, Minnesota. Inside row number 2, we have current points leader, the 37 of Landon Davis out of New Richmond, Wisconsin, side by side with the 249X of Brendan Newville from Clear Lake, Wisconsin. Inside row number 3 sees Ellsworth, Wisconsin's Jackson Garaji in the 46G, alongside Stacy, Minnesota's Tyler Polofsky in the 323. Inside row number 4 is the 28 of Mason Hale from Trempealeau, Wisconsin, and the 27C of Jeff Frederick from Potosi, Wisconsin. Inside row number 5, we have the 22 of Lakeland, Minnesota's Brody Urbanski, and the 26P of Jackson Peters out of Waupun, Wisconsin. Inside row number 6, the 99 of Mason Subert from Welch, Minnesota, alongside Alma, Wisconsin's Cole McQuiston in the 10C. Inside row number 7, the 3J of Hudson, Wisconsin's Brandon Friedrich, and Alyssa Eddy piloting the 100 out of St. Michael, Minnesota. And in that 8th and final row, we have the 28X of Maddie Hale from Trempealeau, Wisconsin, and the UFO of Cade Jaeger out of Kewaskum, Wisconsin. 16 racers, 20 laps for our first main event of the evening post-intermission. We had some track work done during that intermission there, so our racers should be all set and ready to go on a nice, new, beautifully groomed track surface. While we get everyone in their correct starting lineup, I want to send another quick shout out to tonight's sponsor, Quality Auto Body. Dedicated team that has the knowledge and expertise that goes with years of experience together. They have a combined 50 plus years of experience. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. 50 plus years of experience. A strong work ethic sets them apart as well, with every team member, from management to technicians to office support, striving to do exceptional work that shows when they hand the keys back to you, with hope that you will trust them again if you need a future repair. That is tonight's main sponsor of the evening, once again, Quality Auto Body. As we get everything re-lined up and ready to go, we have a nice, beautiful sunset coming at you here in good old Menominee, Wisconsin at the 6th Mile Thunder Hills Speedway. Amazing weather out here tonight. Nice temperatures. Mother Nature rained on us last week, and so we're back tonight with a rescheduled round 3 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunder Hill Speedway. We will be back again next week for our regularly scheduled Storm Series race number 4, Wednesday, July 9th. And then we will go back to our normal every other week racing structure. July 23rd, we'll be back for our Wednesday night special at 7 p.m. As always, for a non-points class, or for a non-points racing session throughout all of our classes. And then back to point series action on Wednesday, 8/13 for alumni night. We've got them tightened up through 3 and 4. Green flag is out, and away we go. It's going to be the 8W of Jaden Wagner leading the charge through 1 and 2 as we have a couple carts off the pace. One of those looks to be the 22 of Urbanski. So we're going to slow them back down, make sure everyone is set and ready to go. 249 of Newville and the 46C, or 46G of Jiragi also come to a stop. So we're making sure everyone is ready to go there. Looks like we got them a little locked up coming out of the corner. Jiragi is lifted off and ready to go. Newville's able to pull away. We're going to get Jiragi restarted before we get back to our first restart of the main events. Now a reminder, the carts to watch in this race. Obviously, you'll want to keep an eye on all of them. We have great racing action throughout this 16-cart field. But the 2 top competitors are going to be that 37 of Landon Davis that we see lining up to the inside of row number 2. And along with him, the 26P of Jackson Peters. Davis, your current points champion, with a 6-point gap over the 26P of Peters. We'll see if Peters is able to shorten that gap tonight, or if Davis is able to extend his lead. Looks like everyone is lined up and ready to go in their correct restarting order. As we move on to the back straightaway, we're going to tighten them up through 3 and 4. And let's see if it works this time. Green flag is out and away we go. Wagner leading the charge through 1 and 2, but he's got a pack of hungry dogs right behind him.
Wagner will lead lap number 1. The battle for second right now, it's Willing and it's Davis. At the line, Wagner leads. Davis has that second spot now with Willing in third, Pulaski and Subert rounding out the top 5.
Nice little battle raging on from, I believe that's 4th on back. Pulaski setting the pace ahead of the 99 of Subert, and then there's another 3-cart battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th right behind, as the 36 machine making some moves around. So we've got the yellow flag out. Looks like the UFO of Jaeger is pulled down to the infield. We'll see if he's pulling further inside or if he's getting back on the track. Looks like he's pulling back out onto the track. So Jaeger is all set and ready to go. We did end up getting 3 laps in there, so we are going to do a, I believe, Delaware double file restart to restart things here with the 8W of Wagner setting the pace. It'll be the 37 of Davis to the inside of that first full row, the 128 of Willing just to his right on the outside. As we reline everyone up, I want to take a quick moment to thank a few more of our sponsors that we have out here tonight. Olson Funeral Home, Hollywood Tan, K1 Race Gear by RB, And Jig Signs along for the ride this year, along with Lewis Bjork and Family Septic Service, TL Signs Plumbing, and Cody Plumbing, Inc. Big thank you to all of them for all of our plumbing and septic needs here. Along with tonight's title sponsor, Quality Auto Body. Lineup seems to be good as we move into 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Newble with a great jump there, able to gain quite a few positions in just that one corner.
So far, the big loser on that restart has been Landon Davis. Davis went from second back to the 5th spot. Good battle right now for the 3rd position between Newville and Subert in 99. Give it to Subert at the line.
One card off the pace. Looks like that's the 28 of one of the Hales. Able to get back up and under it there before getting a caution flag. So we are still green flag action ready to go. Wagner and Willing out front 1 and 2. Then it's a multi-cart battle for 3rd on back. Newville currently sitting in 3rd ahead of a side-by-side battle between Subert and Davis in 4th and 5th. Davis with the slight advantage that time by Davis now up to 4th. But Subert not going without a fight, trying to keep things on the outside there in the top 5.
Yellow flag will come out again. That's for the 28 of Mason Hale. Excuse me, for Maddie Hale back there. We'll get Maddie back pointed in the right direction. And up and going in the 28.
Hale back on the track and ready to go. Pull in at the rear of the field as we get them re-racked and restacked. Out front, though, without losing a charge at all, the 8W Wagner putting on a great show. All the way from Welcome, North Carolina, making the long haul out here tonight for round number 3 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunder Hill Speedway. He's going to be the main leader out front in this Delaware double file restart. And that first full row right behind him will be the 128 of Willing to the inside, the 249X of Newville to the outside. Then it's the 37 of Davis and the 99 of Subert sitting in 4th and 5th. Right behind them, that looks like Polofsky and the UFO of Jaeger. Then the 26P of Peters just behind them. Through 3 and 4, green flag is out. Polofsky this time with a nice hop down to the inside. Polofsky side by side with Davis moves up into that 3rd place spot as we've got another cart going around in 1 and 2. More trouble for Hale there going into turn number 1. Looking like we might have a little bit of a slick track out there. We have quite a few slides going on all throughout the field. Hale, unfortunately, going to get the push into the infield there. Looks like Hale's night has come to a close. So out front, it's still Wagner, Willing, Newville, Davis, Subert, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as it currently stands. Like we've got everyone in their correct restarting order. Might see one getting pushed out to a separate section. Saw Flagman come onto the scene, but we're going to tighten them up on the backstretch. Green flag is out. Lineup's good, and away we go as we're just about halfway through our K&K Racing Micro Sprints main event.
Problems for Subert in 99 and pushing up the racetrack. He'll take a hard left into the infield. We'll stay green. Wagner out front in 8W. Not far behind is Willing. And now the UFO of Jaeger up there after causing a caution flag up to the 3rd spot by Landon Davis.
Wagner, Willing, Yeager, Davis, Polofsky, your top 5 as it currently stands. Trying to set the pace and pull away from the rest of the field. Davis looking to the inside of Yeager, wanting to take over that 3rd podium spot. Yeager still with the slight advantage at the line. Davis has that inside line, but the UFO of Yeager able to pull away further on the outside. Yeager ducks down low, now takes sole possession of 3rd place.
Good battling throughout the field here, the leader. Jaden Wagner on the bottom side of the Thunderhill Speedway. Not many of the front cars venturing up top. Now we got a battle for the 2nd spot. Give it to Yeager into turn number 3. He'll get by Willing. Let's see if Yeager's got anything as the yellow flag comes out. It's for the 46G of Jackson Draji.
Wow, now the cart to talk about this race is definitely the UFO of Cade Yeager. Started off dead last in this 16 racer main event, and he's already been able to work his way up to 3rd, ahead of current points champion, the 37 of Landon Davis. Looks like Jiragi's able to get it all refired. So we will once again re-rack and restack them. With Wagner in the 8W out front. The 128 of Willing on the first full row of this Delaware double file restart. Yeager and the UFO to the outside of row number 2. Then it's the 37 of Davis and the 323 of Polofsky. Rounding out your top 5. We started with 16, and if I'm counting correctly, I believe we're down to 11 now. Sans 5 carts with 6 laps left to go. As we move on to the back straightaway, I believe it's going to be green flag action this time by.
Green flag is back out. We'll go
behind.
3 wide for the 4th position. Down the back straightaway, everybody sorts themselves out. Jackson Peters on the top side around Landon Davis. Give Peters the 4th spot, Davis in 5th. Wagner's lead just about 0.4 of a second, 4 laps to go.
Willing, not the great start that he was looking for that restart, and it's sorely affecting Davis there as he's pushed back quite a bit from that battle up front for the lead. It's now a 2-cart battle as Yeager gets slideways. Wagner able to pull away substantially. 2 laps left to go in this main event for your K&K Racing Micro Sprints. One last time through 3 and 4 before we get to the white flag. Final lap about to hit the books. One more time around the 6-mile oval here in Menominee, Wisconsin. Through turns 3 and 4, checkered flag is going to fly for your feature race winner. The 8W of Jaden Wagner is going to take the win tonight. The UFO of Cade Yeager, a hard-fought battle. Honestly, might be the battle of the night so far, from 16th all the way up to 2nd. And it's the 37 of current points champion Landon Davis rounding out your podium here in the K&K Racing Micro Sprints class. We will give the 8W of Wagner a chance to make his way around the track. Once again, pull it into the infield while the rest of the competitors make their way off the track. But for the 2nd time tonight, into the quality auto body victory lane here at Thunderhill Speedway, your 2nd main event winner of the evening, as he takes off his belts, unhooks himself from his cart, climbs on out, and removes his helmet. Let's hear a huge round of applause for your K&K Racing Micro Sprints feature race winner, the 8W of Jaden Wagner. All the way from North Carolina here, celebrating tonight in the Thunderhill Speedway victory lane. We'll give Jaden his well-deserved chance to celebrate there. And Colin, I will hand things over to you for our starting lineup for the Arbox A main event.
12 laps around for tonight's Arbox A main event. The lineup will look like this on the inside of row number 1. It's the 36 from Stanley, Wisconsin. It's Henry Junker. Outside from Menominee, Wisconsin, that's the 34, Brantley Langer. Inside of row number 2 from Boysville, in the 787, it's Dakota Bus. And to the outside from Winona, Minnesota, that's the number 4, it's Luke Pettit. Inside of row number 3, it's Palmer Haas from Thorpe, Wisconsin in the 21. And to the outside, it's Oakley Booth driving 16 from Colfax, Wisconsin. Row number 4, it's Harper Holopka from Wheeler, Wisconsin in the number 23. And to the outside, it's Kate Knops in 93 from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Row number 5, it's Benjamin Bargender from Marshfield, Wisconsin, driving number 10. And to the outside, Sullivan Phil from Rolling Stone, Minnesota in 95. And the 6th and final row, it's Axel Frenholtz from Minnesota City, Minnesota, driving 20X. And to the outside, it's Downsville, Wisconsin's Dirks LeBlond in 22. Those are your 12 carts going 12 laps around for tonight's Arbox A main event.
Now, this was one of the classes we had a B main in earlier. So it is the 20X of Axel Fahrenholtz and the 22 of Dirks LeBlond who are able to transfer their way through the field here. We'll see if they might actually have a slight advantage. You know, for all those other racers, the 10 other competitors out there, it's been quite some time since they've been behind the wheel of the cart this evening, since they've been on the track. The track conditions have changed, you know, probably not too much, but ever so slightly over the past hour or so since they've been out there. So Fahrenholtz and LeBlond, we'll be able to see them, you know, see if they're racing in the B main earlier tonight gave them that slight advantage to seeing what the track has changed into, or on the other hand, if it has slowed them, or if it has caused them to, you know, become a little more tired out there after the added pressure. But we have a moment here to get our starting lineup all ready to go out on the track. I want to give a big shout out to a few of our stream sponsors we have here at MBTVsports.com. Kaiser Wheels, Foot and Ankle Clinic PA, Stream Dudes, Butler Built Professional Seat Systems, Kevco Race Components, and River's Edge Apple River. Those are the sponsors helping us bring free live streaming action from Thunderhill Speedway out to everyone else out there. As a reminder, for all of those in the grandstands tonight, make sure to send that MBTVsports.com link to all your friends and family who weren't able to make it out tonight, as we are live streaming for free online, not only tonight, but throughout the entire season here at Thunderhill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. Brittany Thill giving a shout out online. Go Sully, number 95 with the checkered flag. And Della Goffin saying, give her, Dirks. Janelle Wright says, go number 34, Brantley Langer. Show them what you've got. 12 carts look to be in their correct starting lineup. As we send them through turns 1 and 2, I believe we might see a green flag next time by. Green flag is out. Henry Junker going to lead them into 1 and 2. Your current points champion pulling away from the rest of the field. Only 2 turns in. Bumping and banging in the midfield. One of our racers going around. I believe that might be the 10 of Bargender.
It's Bus and it's Bargender in the incident in turn number 3 and 4. So the yellow flag will come out. We'll see if they will count that lap or not, or if we'll have a complete restart. Both drivers did start toward the back of the field. Here is a replay on MBTV Sports. Looks like we tried to go 4 wide Contact, and around went Bargender, and then gathered up in it was the 787 of Dakota Bus. One more time, we'll back it up here on MBTV Sports. As you can see, Bus riding along, and then we'll go 4 wide with Frenholtz and LeBlond, and once all said and done, it was the 787 of Bus along with the 10 of Bargender stopped on the exit of turn number 4, bringing out our first yellow flag in tonight's Arbox B.
Now, honestly, it looks like LeBlanc got the lucky end of that mix-up there. 4 wide through turns 3 and 4 with nowhere to go, bumping and banging all around. And he was pushed up to the inside of Bargender. And honestly, Bargender was able to save him from looping around himself. So LeBlanc able to get lucky there in that restart. The other 2 carts not quite as lucky. Cammy Tarvis says, "Go Harper." We send these Arbox racers back out. It's going to be Junker and Langer leading them into 3 and 4. Green flag flying. Langer setting the pace here with a great jump. Junker not putting up with that, though. Battles back down to the inside. Langer already back to 4th, just 2 turns in.
Good start
the
for
battle is up front.
Oakley Booth out in that second spot after Henry Junker. Booth looks to the inside, unable to make the pass. Junker continues to lead in 36 down the back straightaway. The leaders will go toe and toe. Into turn number 3 and 4. The lead will stretch out a little bit for 36 with Henry Junker.
Now that battle out front is a special one to watch, as those are our top 2 racers in the points championship right now. Henry Junker, your current points champion. Oakley Booth sitting behind in second by a mere 3-point gap. So we could potentially see either a change in the championship after this race tonight, or an extension of it if Junker's able to hold on for that win. Booth looks to the outside. Nothing going there. Ducks down low through turns 1 and 2 as we're officially halfway through this race. Booth with the inside line puts the brakes on it as Junker skirts down. Junker going to hold on to the lead another lap, but we're coming up on lap traffic. We'll see how that plays into effect for the rest of this race.
The yellow flag will come out. It looks like we had one around. It's Fahrenholtz around on the front straightaway, who was running in the 11th position. There's 5 laps down and 7 laps to go. Junker and Booth putting on a good battle out front, with Luke Pettit in 3rd, Brantley Langer in 4th, Palmer Haas in 5th.
Bentley Kramer with the shout out online. Sending some love to the racers out there. Looks like we are opting to do a single file restart here. With 7 laps left to go, it'll be Junker, Booth, Pettit, Langer, Haas, Kolopka, Bargender, LeBlanc, Knops, Bill, Fahrenholtz, Bus. Your 12 racers as it stands. The 93 up into their correct starting order. And pushing them back again.
Just a little bit of musical carts going on along the front straightaway, getting everybody in the proper starting position for the restart with 5 laps down and 7 laps remaining. With Henry Junker out front in number 36. Looks like everybody in the proper starting position. As Henry's already starting a fast pace down the back straightaway. As we look to take the green flag out of turn number 4, and we will not. We'll stay yellow as the field will need to catch back up to Henry Junker in 36. And it looks like next time
Well, we have
around,
a
I
quick
bet you
second.
it's gonna be-
Another quick shout out to a few more of our sponsors here this year, Steve Rowan Enterprises and Polish Enterprise LLC, along for the ride for the 2025 Thunderhill Speedway Racing Series. Through turns 3 and 4, green flag is a go, and Booth looks down to the inside. Junker gonna slam the door on him. Junker holds on for another lead lap around this 6-mile oval. Booth looks down to the inside, coming out of 4 once again, side by side on the front stretch. Junker ducks down low, bumps and bangs a little bit. Booth moves back quite a few spots, holding on to second place overall still, but now about a 2-cart gap separating our top 2 racers. Booth now looking to the outside, trying to make something work there. Sneaks down low, tries to go for that slingshot move, nothing quite working as we go into 3 and 4 with 4 laps left to go.
Good battle out front and a good battle for the 3rd and 4th spot. Oakley Booth looks to diamond off the corner. Big run down the backstretch for Oakley Booth. Give Oakley the nod going into turn 3 and 4. We've got one around at the 22 of LeBlanc. Unfortunate for Booth in 16. Finally found a way around Junker, but the yellow flag will come out. It will not matter.
Tough move for Booth there. Few laps of work, finally able to get by. And it might not, and it looks like that's not going to hold, as I believe Junker is going to get his spot back on this restart. So it'll be Junker, Booth, Pettit, Langer, Halapka, your top 5, going into this restart with 4 laps left to go in this 12-lap main event for our Arbox class. As a quick reminder, we are always looking for more stream sponsors here at MBTV Sports. So if you want to help bring free live coverage to racetracks all around the area, hit up Matt Bowl at MBTVsports.com to help out with some of our stream sponsorships. Green flag is back out though. Booth tucks down to the inside. Pettit trying to get into the mix as well, as now it's a 3-cart battle for the lead. Might even be seeing a couple more racers get into the mix. Booth goes down low, side by side on the front stretch. Junker able to close the door yet again. It's only half a cart length separating our top 2 racers, 0.01 seconds in those top 2 spots as we come down 2 laps left to go in this main event.
This time by, we'll see the white flag. Let's see if Oakley Booth has anything for Henry Junker on the last lap. Booth with a run down to the inside. Junker slams the door shut. Booth, big
One
run
final
down
time
the back
into turn
straightaway.
3 and 4. Checkered flag is flying. It's a drag race to the line. Who's it gonna be? Henry Junker taking the win today, securing his spot on the top step of the championship for the season so far. Booth gonna settle for a devastating 2nd place, and it's the 4J, or the 4 of Pettit, who's going to round out your top 3. As Junker pulls in to the quality auto body victory lane here at Thunderhill Speedway, will give him a chance to unbuckle from his cart, remove his helmet, and climb out. But when he does so, make sure to give a huge round of applause to your Arbox A main event feature race winner, Stanley, Wisconsin's Henry Junker. He struggles with his helmet for a second after a hard-fought battle. But now that he can hear everyone, let's hear it. Another round of applause for your feature race winner, Henry Junker, in the 36 machine. We'll give Henry his chance to celebrate in the Thunderhill Speedway victory lane. But in the meantime, we'll give you our starting lineup for our next race about to hit the track, our junior wing class. 12 racers for 12 laps. Row number 1 sees the 21 of Ashton Fahrenholtz out of Minnesota City, Minnesota, alongside Bentley Halapka piloting the 99 from Wheeler, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2 is the 19 of Jacob Demmel out of Owatonna, Minnesota, alongside the 15 junior of Luke Patterson out of Farmington, Minnesota. Row number 3 sees the 20 machine of Mason Lockburner out of Bruce, Wisconsin, alongside Chautauqua, Wisconsin's Nathan Gunderson in the 30. Row number 4, we have the 8 of Trempealeau, Wisconsin's Alan Byrne and the 1S of Dylan Subert out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Row number 5 sees Randolph, Minnesota's Archer Hoffbeck piloting the 14 and Ethan Martineau racing the 22E out of South Range, Wisconsin. And in that 6th and final row, to the inside, transferring through from your B main events, or your B mains, it's the 31 of Grant Keller out of Menominee, Wisconsin, and the 18T of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin's Trip Swan. Halapka, Fahrenholtz, and Demmel were your heat race winners earlier on today. They're going to lead us into turns 3 and 4. Green flag is out, and it's Halapka with the nice jump on the outside. Fahrenholtz battling down to the inside.
We're going to sing will lead lap number 1. Then it's Halapka, Demmel, Patterson, Gunderson, Subert, Lockburner. Good battling out front. We've got one around in turn number 2. Looks like it's Byrne in the number 8. As the yellow flag will come out, we did get one lap down for sure, with Ashton Fahrenholtz leading in number 21. And Bentley Halapka in a very, very close second.
Bentley Halapka, your current points champion, leading the 1S of Dylan Subert by a whopping 17 points with only 2 races in, trying to extend his lead so far today. It looks like we're going with a single file restart for now. Fahrenholtz, Halapka, Demmel, Patterson, Gunderson going to lead the crew into 3 and 4. We've got another lap before we get back to some green flag action. Onto the back straightaway through 3 and 4. We'll give them another lap just to make sure everyone's good to go. I believe we're going green next time by. So we're going to tighten things up onto the backstretch. Make sure everyone's ready through 3 and 4. And we've already got the yellow. Not quite the start we were looking for, as we've got 2 into the back of each other through turns 1 and 2. I believe that was the 8 of Byrne and the 18T of Trip Swan. Swan's back up and running. So now we'll reline them up. Onto the backstretch. 3rd time might be the charm. Green flag is out. And Fahrenholtz going to lead up through 1 and 2. Halapka hot on his tails in 2nd. Don't count out Demmel, though, currently sitting in 3rd.
Fahrenholtz continues to lead with 2 laps down. Here comes that 15 junior of Luke Patterson trying to make a run at the 3rd spot. Demmel holds on in 19, but Fahrenholtz leads as the battle for the lead starts to heat up with Fahrenholtz and Halapka.
Halapka tucks down low on the back stretch, trying to make a move for that top spot. Fahrenholtz going to shut the door there, nothing going on. Demmel, however, trying to make a move to get up to that second place spot. Don't count out the 15 JR Patterson. He's trying to get into the mix also. Fahrenholtz, though, trying to extend his lead out front as we're now just about halfway through this main event.
Fahrenholtz lead 0.283 seconds that last time by. Top three starting to break away from the rest of the field. Halapka looking for any mistake along with Demmel. Possible mistake there from Halapka. Demmel right to the back bumper of the 99.
Our top three racers all within less than half a second of each other. And then a full second and a half gap from them back to that battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th place. Up front, though, Halapka trying everything, ducks down low, Fahrenholtz slides high. Halapka's your new race leader, going into turns 3 and 4 with 3 laps left to go. Fahrenholtz gonna duck down low, gets back up to his side. It's a drag race on the backstretch. Fahrenholtz with the slight advantage and the better placement. Halapka gonna swap around onto the front straightaway. 2 laps left to go. Halapka your race leader once again. It's Halapka, Fahrenholtz, Demmel. 2 laps. Who's it going to be through turns 3 and 4 up to the white flag? 1 lap left to go.
No mistakes made by Halapka. A few lines swapped, and then Halapka pulls away, and he'll win tonight for the junior wing. Second will go to Fahrenholtz. Third is Demmel, then Patterson, Schubert, Keller, Hoffbeck, Byrne, Gunderson, Lockburner, Martineau, and Swan, but doing a masterful job out front, it's Bentley Halapka in 99 picking up the win.
As Halapka pulls into the Quality Auto Body victory lane here tonight at Thunder Hill Speedway. He won the first 2 races of the year, adds a 3rd main event win to his belt. He'll hop out of his cart and hear it for your junior wing feature race winner, 99 of Bentley Halapka. As he takes his well-deserved time in victory lane, let's take it back to Colin for the starting lineup of our Legends Direct Legend Cars class, your next main event.
Starting on the inside of row number 1 from Sparta, Wisconsin, that's the 86, it's Davey Pinnell. And to the outside, the number 7 is Shadow Kitchener, Shadow from Arkansas, Wisconsin. Inside of row number 2 from Ramsey, Minnesota, Josiah Kashadi in 67. And to the outside, Levi Brewer from Ridgeland, Wisconsin in 94. Inside of row number 3, it's Aiden Erickson in the 49 from Cumberland, Wisconsin. And to the outside, that's the number 60, it's Mark Brewer, Mark out of Pierre, South Dakota. Starting in the 7th position is Chris Sleep, Chris from Osseo, Wisconsin, driving 4S. And to the outside, Eau Claire, Wisconsin's Derek Crumry in the 33. And starting all alone in the 9th spot, it will be the 7A of Jackson Kashadi. Jackson races from Ramsey, Minnesota. 9 cars going 20 laps around the Thunder Hill Speedway for tonight's Legends Direct Legend Car A main event.
Cars are out on the track, ready to go. We'll give them a chance to get their tires all warm and set before we get to those 20 laps of Legends Racing action. As a quick reminder, I want to give some love to one of our streaming sponsors here tonight, Stream Dudes. They set us up with all of our streaming gear that we have so that we're able to bring live coverage of round number 3 of the Thunder Hill Speedway Storm Series here at Thunder Hills Speedway. You ever head on down to Stream Dudes, need to get some new gear, tell them we sent you. And they will be happy to hear that. Always happy to help move things forward in the racing arena here. Once again, big shout out to the team at Stream Dudes. We'll get our cars all lined up, tightened, and ready to go on the backstretch. And this time by, we're giving them the 1 to go. Green flag will be flying next time by.
Pennell and Kitchener lead the field to the green. In through 1 and 2, give the top spot to Pennell on the bottom. Kitchener tries to chase on the top for leading lap number 1. It's Davey Pennell.
Nice little side-by-side battle going on for 2nd and 3rd, as well as 4th and 5th. The second half of our field all in tight quarters there. 5-racer battle going on for the back half of the field. Out front alone, though, the 86 of Pennell slowly but surely pulling away from the rest of the crowd.
Good battle on the speedway right now. We've got one around. That was the 94 of Levi Brewer. That will bring out the yellow flag. Brewer was running in that 5th spot along the top side, just at the back end of the car, come out and turn around to cause the first yellow flag of the feature event for tonight's Legend cars. But out front, it's the 86, it's Davey Pennell.
Pennell, Kitchener, Kashadi, Sleep going to be your top 4 as we go into this restart here.
Davey looking for the clean sweep tonight. Won the heat race so far through the first 3 laps out front in the feature event. As the field will get racked up for the Delaware double file restart behind Davey Pennell's 86.
Pennell, Kitchener, Kashadi, Sleep. And the 49 of Erickson gonna take the green flag. Pennell's gonna lead them through 1 and 2. Kitchener on the inside with the slight advantage now. It's Kashadi taking that outside line. We've got racing action high and low on this field here at Thunder Hills Speedway in Menominee. Kashadi gonna move back. Now it's Sleep battling up for that 3rd place spot. Sleep now holding on to that final step on the podium. Out front alone though, and pulling away from the rest of the field, Pennell with now a half-second gap over the 68 of Kitchener.
Pennell strong on the bottom side of Thunder Hill Speedway in 86, continuing to lead. We've got 6 laps down, 14 laps to go. And then it's Sleep, Kashadi, and now Crumry in that 5th spot. The lead duo start to tighten up once again into turn number 1 and 2. There goes the leader around. Davey Pennell spins it in 86, and that'll bring out the yellow flag.
Rough to see for Davey Pennell as he was leading, looking for that clean sweep here. Now he's going to have to battle his way back through a 9-car field to try to take over that top spot. The lucky racer here, though, is going to be that 68 of Shadow Kitchener, currently sitting in 2nd place overall in the standings, looking to try to take over that top spot here. If he's able to hold off the battle from current points leader, the 67 of Josiah Kashadi, it's going to be Kitchener, Sleep, Kashadi, Crumry, and then Erickson, your top 5 as we go back into our restart. Green light is out, coming out of 4. Kitchener going to lead them into 1 and 2. Kashadi looks to the outside. Sleep looks down low. but it's Kitchener all front out alone as we've got a 3-wide battle in the middle of the field, making it a 4-rider battle there, side by side and side by side, 3-wide once again through 1 and 2. It's Brewer, Pinnell, Brewer going around in front of Pinnell.
Extremely close racing back in the field. That looked to me like a racing incident, why those two cars are together, but we'll let the officials make the call. But it is the 86 and the 94 around. The 86 is Davey Pinnell, and the 94 is Levi Brewer. See if both cars are able to roll away, and they are. We'll get the field restacked up here, as we've got 8 laps down and 12 laps remaining for the Legends Direct Legend cars. Here's a replay on MBTV Sports. Yeah, but just looks like the 94 and the 86 kind of come together on the backside of the back straightaway. And the 94 goes around, and the 86 had nothing better to do than to lock it up and come to a stop.
Kitchener, Sleep, Kashadi, Crumrye, Erickson going to be your top 5 in this restart here. Just behind them, the 60 of Brewer. In that 3rd full row, the 4th overall row, down to the inside. To make sure everyone is tight enough and ready to go for our restart here next time by, as Kitchener leads the pack onto the back straightaway.
Kitchener leading the way. As Kitchener has actually not led a lap yet. Davey Pinnell led the first 8, as we have not gotten a green flag lap in since Kitchener took the lead. But this time by, the field tightens up. We will go back to racing action out of turn number 4.
Kashadi looking to make moves on the outside. Sleep looking to duck down low to the inside, but out front it's still Kitchener setting the pace and leading the charge as we go single file for our top 3 racers. The 94 of Brewer looking to the outside in 4th, able to make the pass on the 33 of Crumrye, setting his sights on the 67 of Kashadi.
Kitchener continues to lead. Now here comes Kashadi to the inside of Sleep. Give Josiah Kashadi the 2nd spot out of turn number 4. With 10 down, 10 to go, as the yellow flag will come out for the 49 of Aiden Erickson, stopped in turn number 2.
Erickson's going to get it refired. Pull back into his spot at the rear of the field. Rough night for the Legends car. Legends Direct racers here in a bit of a caution-filled main event. Everyone's jumping at the guns, ready to get some racing action in here. Very excited and ready to go. But as we're lined back up, I believe this time by will give them the 1 to go. So it will once again be Kitchener setting the pace out front. Then Sleep and Kashadi to the inside and outside. As the green flag flies, Kitchener leading the pace out front. Through turns 3 and 4, 3 wide for second, third, and fourth as Brewer's getting into the mix. Onto the front straightaway, Brewer looks to make this a battle for the second place once again. He's passed Sleep up to third, setting his sights on Kashadi. It's now Brewer, Kashadi, 2 and 3 as we've got 2 more bumping and banging at the back of the field. The 33 of Crumrye going around, along with, I believe that might be the 60 of Mark Brewer. Crumrye pulling to the infield. Mark Brewer, I believe I saw him go back out onto the track. Crumrye turning around, back out there as well. And I believe now we will be going for a single file restart here, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like we are going with the Delaware double file, so it'll be Kitchener leading the charge, Kashadi down to the inside of row number 2, Sleep now on the outside, Brewer, Crumrye right behind them as the green flag flies. Kitchener with a great jump off the line, leading the charge into 1 and 2, trying to pull away from the rest of the field, but Kashadi right on his tail, looking down low to the inside. We're halfway through our main event.
Good run out front for Shadow Kitchener. We'll look to battle for that second spot here with Kashadi and Brewer. Kitchener starting to stretch out that lead a little bit in that 68. It's just over half a second with coming to the line this time 5 laps to go.
Single file throughout the field. It's Kitchener, Kashadi, Brewer, Sleep, Crumrye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sleep trying to look down to the inside of the 95 of Brewer. Nothing quite going there. Brewer shuts the door. Out front, alone, it's still the 68 of Kitchener. Setting the pace, leading the charge. Now about a 2-car gap between him and the 67 of Kashadi. We pull out onto the front straightaway. The 4S of Sleep looping it around through 3 and 4, which will draw another caution.
Sleep will go around to draw out another caution. And tonight's Legends Direct Legend Car feature event will get Sleep pushed off of the berm.
Well, we have a second
refired,
here.
he will.
Want to send some more love to a few more of our sponsors here for the season. Henderson's Excavating and Landscape Supply, Shackleton Tree Service and Natural Touch, along with GRP Motorsports and David Jorgensen State Farm Insurance. Glad to have them all along for the ride for the 2025 Storm Series here at Thunderhill Speedway. As green flag flies, we started with 9, we're down to 5. Kitchener, Kashadi, Brewer, Sleep, Crumrye. Mary Johnson says, go Shadow. Shadow Kitchener with the current lead and 3 laps left to go. Out front, it's Shadow Kitchener. Kashadi hot on his tail. Brewer trying to get into the mix as our top 3 have 2 laps left to go.
Coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go for Shadow Kitchener. Inherited the lead after a spin at the front of the field and never looked back. Shadow Kitchener wins tonight's Legends feature. Second will go to Josiah Kashadi, Levi Brewer in third spot, Derek Crumry fourth, and Aiden Erickson rounds out the finishing order in fifth. But picking up tonight's Legends car feature, it's Shadow Kitchener in 68.
He's able to close the gap on the championship run by a decent margin. I believe he is still going into next week in second place, but at a much closer pace to your current points champion, the 67 of Josiah Kashadi. But right now, we'll give Shadow Kitchener his chance for glory as he steps out of his car in the Quality Auto Body victory lane here at Thunder Hill Speedway. Let's hear a round of applause for your Legends Direct Legends Car feature race winner for tonight, round number 3, the 68 of Shadow Kitchener. We'll give Shadow his chance to celebrate in the Thunder Hill Speedway victory lane here tonight. And while he does that, we'll give you our starting lineup for our next main event, the intermediate wing class. We have 9 racers for a total of 12 laps. Inside of row number 1 is going to see the 17 of Colin Haas out of Thorpe, Wisconsin, side by side with Stanley, Wisconsin's Reese Smith piloting the 44. Inside of row number 2, we have the 95 of Caleb Knops and Dylan Subert piloting the 1S of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Row number 3 sees Trempealeau, Wisconsin's 8X of Alan Byrne and Noah Pollock racing the 29 from Pepin, Wisconsin. Inside row number 4, Jonathan Pettit piloting the 3J out of Whitewater alongside Colfax, Wisconsin's Kennedy Cluckus in the number 8. And all alone in that 5th and final row, we see the 27 of Eau Claire, Wisconsin's very own Xander Glumsky. 9 racers, 12 laps, and we are officially at the middle point of our main events for the evening. Carts look all ready to go in their correct lineup order. We send them out onto the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. The hammer is down. Green flag is waving. And it's 3 wide on the front straightaway with the 95 of Knops taking over the early race lead.
Knops will come around and lead lap number 1 with Haas in that second spot. And then it's Smith. And now here comes the 1S of Subert to the inside for third. Here comes Byrne to try and make it a 3-cart battle for the third spot, but out front, it's Knops in 95.
Smith able to shut the door on that 3-cart battle for third, fourth, and fifth. David Runquist saying, let's go Noah, as Noah Pollock is making his way through the field as well. Up front, though, those 5 carts battling it out. Up front, it's Knops in the 95 leading the charge. Haas looks down low, side by side on the front straightaway. Haas wants to take that lead back. Knops shuts the door, says, no way, Jose, I am up here ready to lead this race. It's Knops, Haas, Smith, Subert, Byrne, your top 5.
Best battle on the speedway is for the top spot. Now here comes Haas to the inside. Knops on the outside in 95. Haas will take over the lead and lead lap number 6. That's 6 down and 6 laps to go. Now here comes Smith for second. Give the second spot to Reese Smith, but now the 95 of Knops battles back. Good crossover move by Smith to take second, and now here comes Byrne as well.
Knops slides way high coming out of 4, drops back quite a few positions. Now it's a 3-cart battle for the lead there, but out front all alone, Haas with a half-second advantage over the 44 of Smith. Smith's got a whole lot of the 8X of Byrne right behind him, though. Byrne trying to duck down low. Haas trying to secure this race lead with 3 laps left to go.
Alan Haas in that 17 took over the race lead on lap number 6. He's got 2 laps remaining. Good battle for second, continuing with Smith and Byrne, but Haas out front with the white flag.
1 lap left to go for your race leader. He brings it onto the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. One final time onto the front stretch. Colin Haas is a feature race winner tonight. The 44 of Smith gonna finish second. Byrne will round out your top 3. But tonight he started on the pole, backpedaled slightly, but was able to regain the top spot and hold on to it and pull away. Colin Haas will make his way into the quality auto body victory lane here at Thunder Hill Speedway as he shortens that gap in the championship points, moves his way closer to that top spot. But in the meantime, your feature race winner, give it up for the 17 of Colin Haas. We'll let Colin celebrate his time in the Thunder Hill Speedway victory lane for his well-earned feature race win. But in the meantime, let's hear your starting lineup for your next main event, the Sportsman class. Inside of row number 1, we have the 191 of Steven Savalls out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin, side by side with Eau Claire's Jake Johnson piloting the 74. Inside row number 2, we have the 55 of Trayton Volchek from Rock Falls, along with Rock Falls' Ashton Henchen racing the 88 machine. Inside row number 3, Matt Volchek piloting the 555 out of Hudson, alongside Cumberland's Ramon Perez racing the number 25. And inside that fourth and final row, we have the Josh Fuster 76 machine out of Chippewa Falls, alongside Gene Supres 97 out of Eau Claire. 8 racers, 12 laps for our Sportsman main event. As Haas makes his way off the Thunder Hills Speedway, we'll set our Sportsman carts away. Heat race winner Steven Savalls on the inside. Jake Johnson finished second, sitting on the outside. Trayton Volchek rounding out your heat race podium on the inside of that second row. Looks like we are missing one of our carts today. Green flag is flying though. Savalls and Johnson gonna lead them into 1 and 2. Volchek hot on their tail.
Savalls with the slight advantage down the back straightaway. Into turn 3 and 4, Savalls will lead lap number 1. Johnson in the second spot. Trayton Volchek in third.
Savalls pushes high, which gives Johnson the chances that he needs to move up to that top spot. New race leader as we're 3 wide onto the front straightaway. Through turns 1 and 2, it's still Johnson, Volchek, Savalls moves back. Savalls now back up to the top spot. 3 wide once again on the straightaway.
Extremely good racing at the front of the field. Savalls has a slight advantage. Johnson in the second spot. And then it's Volchek in the third position. Savalls regains the lead in 191. Savalls out front. Volchek looking to the inside. Slight contact into 3 and 4. Johnson looks to capitalize with Savalls still out front.
First lap in the books where we've had the same race leader both times around. Lots of swipping and swapping, all moving around. But right now it's all Savalls all the time. Johnson and Volchek right behind in second and third, making this a close-knit battle for our top 3. The 555 of Matt Volchek and Perez sitting in 5th, right behind this battle for the top 3 spots.
Volchek starting to close in on Savalls. The 191 has led the last few laps. Now here comes the 55 of Volchek. Volchek, good run down the back straightaway. We'll go side by side for the top spot. Savalls slams the door through 3 and 4. He'll continue to lead.
Johnson able to capitalize on that, moves up to second. Volchek able to get back by down on the inside, bumping and banging on the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. Side by side onto the front stretch. A little contact there as we go into 1 and 2. Johnson now back up to the second place spot, setting his sights on Savalls with 2 laps left to go.
Tip of the green, 2 to go. Excuse me, white flag, 1 lap to go for Steve Savalls. Here comes Johnson down to the inside. Savalls, Johnson. Now here comes Velchek. Velchek's going to pick up the win.
3 wide coming out of 4. It was anyone's game. And it's going to be the 55 of Trayton Volchek with a last corner pass. 3 wide with a .143 separation over Savalls. And then equidistance back to the 74 of Johnson. Wow, that may have been the closest race finish that I have seen between 3 racers in quite some time. As he climbs out of his cart, though, and into the Thunderhill Speedway victory lane, give it up for your well-deserved feature race winner, the 55 of Trayton Volchek.
For everyone watching at home, here is a replay on MBTV Sports of that finish coming to the line. Contact between the top 2. Volchek had nothing to do but go underneath of him to pick up tonight's win in the Sportsman division. Incredible racing out front all night long, all 12 laps for the Sportsmans. As the 125 250s are up next, as they just about get ready to stage as we finish up victory lane for Trayton Volchek.
Starting lineup for your 125 250 wing class is going to look like this. 11 racers, 12 laps. Inside of row number 1, we have the 22 of Davin Hawk out of Rice Lake, Wisconsin, side by side with Indianola, Iowa's Riley Dawson racing the 6D, your current points champions. Out front in row number 2, we have the UFO 2 of Holden Harder out of Madison, Wisconsin, by side with New Richmond's Tyler Alton racing the 30. Inside row number 3, the 13E of Nick Moulter from Bruce, Wisconsin, alongside Chippewa Falls, Landon Supri piloting the 99 JR. Inside row number 4, the 2.0 out of Cadott, Wisconsin, Jackson Helen, and to his right, Blake DeSmith racing the 66B out of Downing, Wisconsin. Inside row number 5, Brody Conkey piloting the 8 out of Elk Mound, Wisconsin, next to Wheeler, Wisconsin's very own Bentley Halapka racing the 99. And in that 6th and final row, all by himself, out of Menominee, Wisconsin, their very own Caleb Kropp racing the 29. 11 carts, 12 laps for our second to last main event of the evening, 125 250. Well, we give our carts a chance to warm up their tires and get in their correct starting spots. Want to give another quick shout out to a few more of our sponsors on the for the year. Great American Fireplace, Menominee Flooring Center, Hoffman Homes, and Denny's Appliances helping us out here at Thunderhill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. And along with that, another quick shout out to some of our stream sponsors, Kaiser Wheels, River's Edge, Apple River, Kemco Race Components, Foot and Ankle Clinic PA, Butler Built Professional Seat Systems, and Stream Dudes, who's helping set us up with our streaming gear on the season. Green flag is out, and it's Hawk that's going to lead them into 1 and 2.
Hawk with a good start in the 22, racing down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Hawk leads lap number 1, and then it's Dawson, Alton, Carter, and Moulter rounding out the top 5 with a battle for the 3rd and 4th spot. Give the spot to the UFO 2 of Holton Harder.
Out front, that battle is raging on between our two heat race winners, Hawk and Dawson, setting the pace, leading the charge. We also got a 3-cart battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th between the 13E of Moulter, battling off 2 other racers right behind him, hot on his tail.
Hawk continuing to lead. This time the lead just a little over a half a second. Harder continuing to run third. Alton, Moulter, Conkey, Helland, Supri, DeSmith, Cobb, and Halapka. One nearly around. That was the UFO 2 of Harder. Harder will lose a spot to Alton. Leaders into lap traffic now. Hawk able to put 2 between himself and the 6D.
Dawson snaking his way through traffic as well, trying to keep his eyes on the 22 of Davin Hawk. Only 10 points separate these 2 racers in our championship points currently. The 6D of Riley Dawson has won every race so far this year, and he's trying to make it 3 for 3, but Hawk is putting on a heck of a show with 2 laps left to go and half a second gap in between them. Through turns 3 and 4, white flag flying, 1 more lap to go for the 22 of Davin Hawk. One final time onto the backstretch, straightaway through turns 3 and 4, checkered flag is flying for your feature race winner, the 22 of Davin Hawk, taking his first feature race win of the 2025 season. The 6D of Riley Dawson going to settle for second. Alton going to round out your podium. Then it's Conkey and Harder completing your top 5 for a no caution main event in the 125-250 wing class. Alton going to roll up and give a quick congrats to Hawk. And in the quality auto body victory lane here at Thunderhill Speedway, we'll give him a chance to unbuckle himself from his cart, remove his helmet, and hop on out. But let's hear a huge round of applause for your feature race winner, the 22 of Davin Hawk. As Davin celebrates his time in the Thunderhill Speedway victory lane, we'll take a moment to set up your final running order of the evening, your Gopher Midget Racing Series class. Colin, take it away.
20 laps around for tonight's Gopher Midget A main event. And starting in the 4th position from Osceola, Wisconsin, it's Edison Aldrich in 76. Starting to the inside of row number 2, he drives from Owatonna, Minnesota. That's JP3. It's Johnny Parsons III. Johnny drives 85. Starting to the outside of row number 1, he drives the Trev Wings, car number 10. He's from Olivia, Minnesota. It's Trevor Service. And on the pole from Now Then, Minnesota, he drives the 51. It's the K1 by RB. Number 55, it's Ryan Bowers. 4 cars will go 20 laps around tonight at the Thunderhill Speedway as we have a little bit of track preparations going on before tonight's feature.
In the meantime, quick reminder for all of those out in the stands right now and live streaming tonight's coverage for free on MBTVsports.com. We are here for the rescheduled race number 3 of the 2025 QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series, but we will be back again next week for our regularly scheduled programs as we get to round number 4 next Wednesday, July 9th, where we will be coming back at you, doing it all again as regularly scheduled. We'll have some rookie cage racers, Arbox, junior wing, intermediate wing, 125, 250 wing, Sportsman, wingless micros next week, along with our Legends Direct Legends class and our Gopher Midget Racing Series. So we will be back once again next week, whether you're able to come back out with us and join us yet again on what should be a beautiful Wednesday night here at Thunderhill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin, or if you're not able to make it, maybe you'll be able to live stream the events of the night on MBTVsports.com. We will be back at it, doing it all again next week, once again. And while we have a few more seconds, want to give a shout out to a few more of our sponsors for the season here at Thunderhill Speedway: Dick's Fresh Market, Liquid Nitro, Old World Meats, and Doan LTD, helping us out with our grocery and food and drink needs. And then over on the construction side, Accurate Construction, JK Concrete LLC, Haas Inc., and TNT Construction along for the ride for the 2025 season, along with Culver's of Menominee, Wisconsin, Coyote's Den, and Timber Inn Bar and Grill. Lots of great sponsors here helping us bring the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series to you every other week here at Thunderhill Speedway in good old Menominee, Wisconsin. They're giving us their support and helping us bring you racing action. Make sure you go out into the community and give them some support as well. If you hit up any of their businesses, make sure to tell them that Thunderhill Speedway sent you and that you're thankful to them for helping you bring bi-weekly racing action to this beautiful 6th Mile Oval in Menominee, Wisconsin. Track prep has come to a close. Good old John Deere making his way to the infield, and our 4 Gopher Midget Racing Series racers are officially out on the track. Looks like the 76 of Edison Aldrich already not having the start to this main event that he would hope. Getting pushed around the track, and if I'm seeing things correctly, is getting that rough push to the infield. Aldrich came into tonight second in points, behind Carter Jensrud, who's racing out of state tonight. And that is not the finish that Aldrich wanted prior to even starting the main event. He had some issues during the heat race. Was off the pace most of the time. Was hoping to see him out for the feature. But it looks like before our first green flag flies, we will be down from 4 to 3 racers. It'll now be Bowers, Cerbis, and JP3 rounding out your Gopher Midget Racing Series main event. Looks like we're going to give them a couple seconds to get all lined up and ready to go. Bowers, Cerbis out front. Parsons in the back. Green flag is flying. And Bauer's going to lead them into 1 and 2. Parsons up to that second place spot, able to make his way by the 10 of Cerbis. Setting his sights now on the 55 of Nothen's Bowers. JP3 liking that extreme low line. Bowers taking that extreme high line, and it's the 85 or the 10 of Cerbis split in the middle down on that inside line. Out front though, all alone, it's still the 55 of Bowers setting the pace and leading the charge here in this 3-cart battle. Mano y mano y mano for Gopher Midget Racing Series glory. Battle for second now raging on. Out front, though, with a full straightaway advantage over that battle for second and third. Ryan Bowers putting on a heck of a show. Single file throughout the field. The 85 of JP3. Currently sitting in third. Cerbis in second, setting his sights on the 55 of Bowers. The bright orange 10 of Cerbis making another lap around the track. Cerbis with the high line, Parsons with that extreme low line. Parsons able to get by as Cerbis is off the pace. He ducks down to the infield. And I believe Cerbis' race has come to a close. We started with 4, went down to 3, and we're going to finish with 2. Half a lap gap between our 2 racers out on the field. Flame sputtering out the side. Exhaust of the 55 of Ryan Bowers. As he's racing out there like nobody's business. Putting on some great laps. Even with a small showing in the class, only 2 racers out on the track right now, we can still have some fun sliding sideways action here at the 6th mile oval. As the checkered flag flies, Ryan Bowers is going to take the win tonight in the stacked Gopher Midget Racing Series class. And not only is he going to take the main event win tonight, but he is going to take over the championship lead in the Gopher Midget Racing Series class here at Thunder Hill Speedway. We'll give him a chance to hop out of his cart, unbuckle himself, take off his helmet, but let's hear it for your final feature race winner of the night, Ryan Bowers. As Bowers celebrates his time in victory lane with his family, a well-deserved win in his books. We want to thank everyone for coming out here tonight to Thunder Hill Speedway in Menominee, Wisconsin. Thank you to all of the live streamers streaming tonight's events for free on MBTVsports.com. As a quick reminder, we will be back once again next week for round number 4 of the QualityFreightRate.com Storm Series here at Thunder Hill Speedway. Opening ceremonies start at 6:45. National Anthem at 6:55. First green flag of the night at 7 p.m. next week. On behalf of Chad and the team at Thunder Hill Speedway, Matt and everyone else here at MBTV Sports, my name is Zach Bailey, along here with Colin Lloyd in the announcer's booth tonight. Thanking everyone for coming out here. And now just remember on your way out here, racing is for the track only. Drive safe tonight, everyone, and we will see you next week for Storm Series race number 4.
When you've got to ship it from anywhere to anywhere,
QualityFreightRate.com.
the LTL Freight Logistics Specialists for your small business.
QualityFreightRate.com.
We simplify shipping, eliminate those surprise charges, and negotiate the best rates from most LTL qualified carriers.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Special residential and liftgate rates available for automotive and ag implements.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Use the promo code ICE and get 10% off your first shipment. Startup is so easy. Get a quote and ship today. QualityFreightRate.com.
Ready to make a splash this summer? Grab your friends and head to River's Edge on the scenic Apple River. Whether you're looking to float the day away, camp under the stars, or catch live music and weekend events, River's Edge has everything you need for an unforgettable time. Book your tube, campsite, or party package now. River's Edge on the Apple River. Your summer starts here.
Every great journey begins with a trusted guide. And when it comes to finding your perfect home, there's no one better than Kathy Vetter. With over 10 years of experience and a passion for real estate, Kathy Vetter helps you find the perfect home, a peaceful country retreat, a cozy single-family house, or your very first step toward a lifetime home. She also specializes in commercial real estate, guiding you through every step of the way. From the heart of the metro to the scenic countryside, Kathy Vetter knows the Minnesota market inside and out, committed to finding the perfect fit for you, no matter where you are. Buying your first home can feel overwhelming, but with Vetter by your side, it's a smooth and exciting journey. She makes first-time buyers feel confident, supported, and understood, every single step of the way. From your first showing to handing over the keys, Kathy Vetter works tirelessly to ensure you get the home you've always wanted. Kathy Vetter, your trusted real estate expert across Minnesota. From vibrant metro living to serene countryside escapes to agricultural and commercial spaces. Let her help you unlock the door to your next chapter.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
My two passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers at Certified Angus Beef. We know what our beef is continuously and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was going to be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of the year. I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town really puts things into perspective. It's the little things for me to be appreciated and respected.